Authorized dealer, where they have all the top-of-the-line smartphones with all the latest features. With such a wide selection and so many great plans, nothing can spoil it.
Yay, rain!
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
No dugout in the pasture? You could move the cows or just put the water where the cows are. With a Kelm Solar Livestock Watering System, you can put your pump pretty much anywhere without the cost of hooking up to the grid. If your cows are over here, put your Kelm Solar Livestock Watering System over here. If they're over there, put it over there. If the cows are on the roof, you have weird cows. Learn more about the Kelm Solar Livestock Watering System at kelmsolar.com. Kelm Solar, we move water.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Sask Lotteries, bringing communities together. Sask Lottery products fund over 12,000 sports, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936. 6262. The all-new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
It's the all-new Sportscage on Tuesday. And a lot of times I lie to you out there and say, you know what, we're going to have a great show and I'm going to be really excited. Today I am excited for this 3 hours, mainly because we are releasing our Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song Bracket. Barney Shinkaruk, Ryan Pollock, Colson, Curtis, and Allen. The whole band is here as we get going for 3 hours. Glenn Suter's jumping in. We're switching things up again today with Glenn. He was so excited about the Sportscage Ultimate Song Bracket. He said, I got to come on early. I said, Glenn, we can make time at 3:15 for you. He said, let's do it. We are going to talk some everything with Arash Madani. Baseball. He came at us with baseball. 3 baseball questions if you'd like to. I said, no. We're going to talk about Monday Night Football. And we have to talk about Summer McIntosh for sure. Arash, like, I'm down. SJHL report, Benny Walchuk. He's going to be on the bus, but he's going to join us right before that as we get everything, what's going on in the SJ. Not so good for Team Canada West at the World Junior A Championship yesterday and Canada East. We'll touch on that. J.O. from the Riders, also known as Jeremy O'Day. 5:15, he's going to join us from the car, we think. So that'll be interesting. And then Randy Bryden, curling, talk later in hour 30. I'm so excited. As you can tell in my voice, RP's here with us. What do you think about the ultimate song bracket, Christmas song bracket?
Jam-packed show. Not because we have any valuable sports insights or opinions.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show because of the Christmas song bracket.
And we have a giveaway.
And we've got a giveaway.
From the Royal Regina Golf Course.
One that's important to me.
Yeah. We're going to give away, if you like maybe hitting the Sims, or if you've never hit the Sims, when it comes to golfing, we're going to give away 2 hours of simulator golfing at the Royal Regina, the best simulators in the city.
We love to believe so. GS Pro system, about as real as you can get from visuals and from the shot feedback. So if you've never been, it's a fun experience. Keep the swing going throughout the winter, an opportunity to socialize with your friends while you're there.
We'll talk more about that as we go along here. I just, if you have a Twitter account or an X account, you go on there and you see right now we got 2 matches. It's like with March Madness, that those first couple of weeks, there's like games going on. You're flipping back and forth. You're splitting the screen. You got double box guy. We have in our Christmas song bracket challenge right now, Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid. Ahead of Santa looked a lot like Daddy. We went with Buck Owens, but it's also been sang by Brad Paisley and a number of other guys, Garth Brooks. Band-Aid's leading right now. You can vote at the Sportscage Twitter, and then also at 936-6262. The Capital Ford Lincoln text line, Saskatchewan's #1 Ford retailer. The other match going on as we speak. What?
I was just going to say, when I checked this morning, or earlier, with posting those, sorry, what was the other song? It was Santa Looks a Lot Like Daddy and
Do They Know It's Christmas?
Do They Know It's Christmas? Do They Know It's Christmas was up 7-0 at one point. So
Yeah.
Santa Looks a Lot Like Daddy's making a comeback.
And then the other match is blowing me away right now. I'll Be Home for Christmas by Bing Crosby. Nice tune. Nothing wrong with it. Leading Metro's 11 Days from Christmas. We're putting a call out to that Yorkton, Kenora, Ituna area. We can't let Metro go down here in round one.
No, and I'm one of those believers that if you don't vote, you can't have an opinion. So as I sit here right now, my vote has been counted.
Perfect.
So I'm in on the game. This is this is going to be fun.
You got till 5:30 to vote, right, Colson? Colson's the boss on that. He's the electoral officer here at the Sportscage.
Are we gonna have the big board going in the back?
He's up your game, boys. He wants a big board in the back, maybe for tomorrow. And then you could, like I said, 936-6262. We'll take your texts as well if you want to vote that way. Oh God, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Western Pizza, perfect for that group gathering that you're going to get going on, or if you need a place to maybe host a small gathering, call your local Western Pizza. And then, like I always say, $25 gift exchange, $30 gift exchange, $50 gift exchange. Western Pizza is a perfect way to go about it. You can even pair it with a little $25 SIM card from the Royal Regina. Now you're in the game at $50.
Winning right there.
People are like, who brought this? Wow, what an idea.
It's getting passed around all the time. No gifts being open. Just keeps going around the circle.
Only three exchanges.
Passes,
We did that at ours last. Someone had a magic bullet. There was a blowout up magic bullet at a local store. And there was this magic bullet, and it got passed around 3 times. In the third I knew we needed a new one because Roman already broke one of ours. Needed another one. And guy, I said, if you go steal that magic bullet for the last time, and he wanted the bottle of whiskey that got passed around 3 times, I said, I'll give you a bottle. It was Glass Mountain, real nice whiskey. I said, I'll give you a bottle of that whiskey for that magic bullet. There's a story. We got 936-6262. A Metro's 11 Days of Christmas. We got a vote right there for my Tuna Avalanche senior hockey team. 22 votes. I don't. That's not allowed. Get everybody the message in there. Clever. Didn't leave a name. Very clever. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. And right now, like I said, he couldn't wait to get on the show today. He wanted to come on early because of the bracket challenge.
The all-new Sportscage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glenn Suter is brought to you by Quality Tire. With 9 locations across Saskatchewan, visit qualitytire.ca.
Do you want to vote, Glenn? Do you want to we can take your vote over the stream here as we sit. You seem like a Band-Aid guy to me. That was a big song in the 80s. You were probably training to that in the off season.
Well, I have been dying to get in here to get my vote in. Like I did not want to lose out on this, and I appreciate you bumping me up to get this done. Because if you hear the first few words, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch."
He didn't even make the bracket.
You are a heel. There you go. There is my vote for the best Christmas song on the planet. Jim Carrey's version of it is excellent. You know, I'm not sure. The close second was the one around the Christmas tree that they sang at the end of the Grinch.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
For a long time, I thought they were saying Pavel Bure, Pavel Bure, Pavel Bure. But I'm actually not really sure what they say. But that's a close second. But the Grinch, come on, the Grinch is iconic.
So we needed you in here yesterday because yesterday is when we picked the songs. So the bracket is already out. So now, follow along. So now we need to know if you want. These are the 2 matches that are going on right now. Okay. Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas? Very, very emotional song from the 80s where they raised all the money for the African relief. And then Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy by Buck Owens. Who would you like there?
Oh, I'm taking Buck Owens. That's a Buck Owens no-brainer.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Jumps on her.
Oh, yeah.
Surprised. Okay, and then the other one, and you got to think Sasky here. You got to think who you're pissing off more. I'll Be Home for Christmas, Bing Crosby, or 11 Days from Christmas by the great Ukrainian artist Metro.
I'm going to guess that the answer I have to do here is the 11 Days of Christmas.
You're correct.
Yep.
You're
Yes,
correct.
thank you.
Good pick. Good pick. Really good pick, my man. Okay, CFL
So we can't
news.
substitute Grinch. You can't substitute Grinch in
No.
there anywhere?
Grinch, it's like Grinch is in the NIT tournament. It's like a separate tournament that they run between 9 and midnight here on 620 CKRM.
In the secondary gym.
Secondary gym, exactly.
Okay.
It's like they just keep you around so you spend more money on hotel and food and all that.
It says on our social posts, if you're not in the cut this year, do some off-season work, make a signing, come
Yep.
to tryouts next year.
Yeah, we'll bring it in
Hey,
next
man,
year.
I will be promoting that Grinch. And I'm going to see if I can get Jim Carrey. I'll see. He's a Canadian, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. He'll jump in. He'll jump on the show and do his version of it. It'll be a lot better than mine. And Colson, let's not put that whole thing on social media that I just did there at the top. Let's not do it.
Yeah. No, we won't. We'll cut that. We'll cut that out. CFL. Like, so this week, really not a lot as far as signings coming down and everything. But last week was hot and heavy. Did you find anything more out about the Trey Ford signing in Edmonton, Glenn?
Yeah, I was looking into sort of what this really means, and it's an indicator of a few things. One, we really buy the response that Ed Hervey has brought to the table and Mark Killam has brought to the table that the last regime, whether it was Chris Jones to start with, Jarius Jackson after Chris Jones was fired, and I would have to add here a little bit of Geroy Simon in that discussion. Clearly, they were not ready to give Trey Ford an opportunity. A different coach that has had to coach against Trey Ford comes in as now the head coach in Mark Killam, and he's talking at length about how this guy is so tough to defend. And teams playing against him so tough to defend. So again, it poses the question to me, and I hate to bring up these conspiracy theories, but just why a staff would be almost holding him back. They started 0-9 2 years ago, 0-9 before he got a chance. Saved, didn't save the season, but he basically gave the fans something to cheer about in the back half, and probably saved some jobs. And then last year they went 0-7 with McLeod Bethel Thompson before making the switch. And Trey Ford goes 4-1 as a starter last year. He's 9-9. I'm going to give you a quick stat line, and just for a comparable. If I told you that in his first 18 games as a starter, you completed 57.3% of your passes, and your touchdown interception ratio was 24 TDs to 24 interceptions, and you were 7-1 to start what has become a career that ended up being 3 consecutive MOP awards. That was Doug Flutie's stat line after 18 starts in the CFL. And for Trey Ford, his first 18 starts, he was at 67.8%, so much higher in the completion percentage department than Doug Flutie.
A little over 10% more?
Yeah. He was 21 to 14 touchdown interception ratio, and 9-9 was his overall record, with very little support, I would suggest, from his coaching staff and organization at the time. And I bring those numbers up because it's comparable to me. Doug Flutie was a different style of athlete. I think Trey Ford is, again, a different style than Doug even. But they were similar. I mean, the starting numbers in the first 18 games for Damon Allen, who would be another comparable when you're looking at Trey Ford, he was 11-7 touchdown interception ratio 23-18, so not as good as Ford, and a 50% completion percentage. So Damon Allen completed 50% of his passes in his first 18 starts and became a basic Hall of Famer and multiple Grey Cup rings. Now, I'm being careful here not to compare these guys because they're different people and different style. Even though they're runners and athletes, they're different style. But, you know, when I started to look at the press conferences and listen to what the coaching staffs were saying, what Trey Ford was saying, I think the most important part of this signing was not the money. You know, I think it handcuffs coaches when you say, well, we signed him for so much money, you have to play him. Like that to me in any sport is ridiculous, really. I know it happens. I know it's real, but it's ridiculous that you handcuff a coach like that if it's not the right choice. And I look at the most important quote here, guys, was in the press conference was when Mark Killam said, we will put together an offense that really pulls out Trey Ford's strengths. So for the first time in his career, he's going to get a real opportunity. He's going to get an offense that suits his strengths. And that hasn't happened, even though he has a better record than any quarterback in the last 2 years in Edmonton. So it's crazy.
That was actually very informative. So basically, what you were saying, and if people weren't or just tuning in, Trey Ford has better numbers in his first 18 games. Is that the measuring stick? 18 games, 18 starts than Doug Flutie and Damon Allen.
Yeah. And I pulled those two quarterbacks because I went to actually talk to Steve Daniels at the league office to ask him to look into this for me, because those guys are comparables because Trey Ford's athleticism and and both are Hall of Famers, and you know what Doug did in the league. So again, not comparing the guys. I'm just trying to bring some perspective to
for sure
what I've been saying for 2 straight years about Trey Ford.
So the thing that I'm going back now to 1990, and I think that's when Doug first came to the CFL, and I really thought that he was all-star. He was amazing off the get-go. Not so much, like Chris.
Yeah.
Right, a little bit of a transition in, which comes with the territory, I guess, at the quarterback position. It's a difficult position to step into, especially moving to the Canadian game for some guys. Obviously, Trey being essentially growing up in the system, but comparables are outstanding there, Glenn. And I think what you just said there is going to be a huge thing. I'm a believer of, if I don't understand something, it's probably because I don't have all the information or an understanding to what's going on. And I had those same wonderings from the outside saying, why does he show good and then he's off the field again? And then he stands on the sidelines for 3 games and then he's back in there and they win. And he gets another opportunity and they win. So I found it interesting in your comments and in their press conference there of saying that they're going to mold essentially their offense around him. So not the transition out of that, but how does that change maybe the perspective? He's in a little bit of a show-me contract in some ways, like you say, he's not financially restrained to be pressured in, but how does it change that perspective to the importance of a potential veteran backup now behind him, if you do want him to get as much opportunity as you can while still considering that team aspect to fulfill their roster?
Well, it's a great question, because it sounds like to me by what Ed Hervey has said and what Mark Killam has said is that they will make it clear to the team that Trey Ford is going to be the guy that they build the offense around, as you mentioned, and that he's going to get every chance to a real opportunity to be the franchise player in Edmonton, and that's got to happen from the top down so that the guys know exactly what the pecking order is when they walk in the door. So, Trey Ford's got some responsibility there too. I think one of the things that he will have to fight, unfortunately, which isn't right, but I think will happen, is the expectation and a little bit of the perception. Again, I remember thinking back when Doug Flutie was young and beginning his career, and Damon Allen was doing the same. I looked at those guys in their first 18 starts and thought, these guys are going to be stars. These guys are going to be star players. It's certainly Doug Flutie. I mean, in Doug Flutie's first few starts, he started going into overtime, and I think he threw for over 6,000 yards in one of his first couple of years. But we could see, and the perception of those guys were future stars in the league very quickly. And the only thing that they were kind of had to I guess the sort of classification that they had to kind of break was that they were just athletes playing the quarterback position. They wanted to be known as great quarterbacks. And so especially Damon Allen had to fight that. Trey Ford's got a different beast in front of him. Because as I've said for 2 years, if he came from Alabama or if he came from USC, we wouldn't have been talking about it like this. And we wouldn't have been waiting for him after 3 or 4 games standing on the sideline with the only quarterback to lead the team to a win 2 years ago, and then he gets benched again, and you're going, what? When they brought in McLeod Bethel-Thompson, I thought there is the mentor that will be the insurance policy for Edmonton as they build their offense around this dynamic athlete. And that didn't happen. They brought him in, paid him that big money, and said, you're the guy. And again, Trey Ford got pushed aside. So, I think the getting back to my thought on the perception and just what he's going to have to fight is that he is Canadian. He is from a Canadian college in Waterloo. And there's going to be people, and there already has been in the previous organization, that'll say, well, he needs to develop. Well, okay, then why did we say it differently when it was Doug Flutie or when it was Damon Allen or even Tracy Ham? There's those numbers. His numbers in the first 18 games are better than those two of those guys. So, I think and I hope that people will give him that same opportunity. In other words, Trey Ford is going to have a bad game. If he makes the team and he's healthy at a camp and he's not makes the team. I mean, if he wins that job like he wants to compete for, and then is the guy in Edmonton coming out of training camp and is healthy, he's going to have a bad game or two. He's going to throw a couple of interceptions. He's going to have that game, maybe more. Maybe there'll be 2 in a row. So what will be the narrative then? Is it going to be, well, he's a future star and he's got to continue to grow? Or will it be, here, this is what everyone was concerned with. He's got a long way to go. He's got to develop, blah, blah, blah. I think people have treated him differently. And I'm just looking at the player. All I'm saying is evaluating the player. And the player is a potential superstar because athletically he does things I've never seen in the game.
The narrative in the stands will be, put in Cody.
Maybe. Hey, and
Maybe.
back to our
Maybe.
Barney, back to our Thursday discussion. You saw right afterwards that Cody didn't rule out a return to Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Remember we talked about it being a long shot, but he did say, hey, if they were interested and there was, it worked out, then he wouldn't have a problem going back to the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Does you know why? Because I know a lot of friends that recently have been laid off, and they're just saying, I'll take whatever job. But really, you don't want to go back to that job. You don't want to go back to that. You're just saying that. You don't burn any bridges, right? That's what they say. But sometimes. Yeah. Hey, I want to get your take on Winnipeg and what they're losing there. They got like 25 free agents coming up here in February. They got 13 of 24 guys, 30 years older.
Yeah.
Like I know we're going to have some 204 numbers chiming in on our Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song bracket. So there are Manitoba fans that are listening. Like, what's your take in Winnipeg? Should Winnipeg fans be a little bit worried?
Well, I'll preface the whole thing by saying we had this conversation this time last year. Winnipeg's getting old. Winnipeg is going to find that they're on the downslope now. That's what Winnipeg, and then they got back to the Grey Cup. So, I preface it with that. However, they've lost now their offensive coordinator in Buck Pierce. He's now in BC. Ted Govaya is now the general manager in Hamilton, and Govaya has been there for a decade, bringing in all those great players that have made what this team is all about. I mean, he has built the team. He's been the personnel guy, him and Danny McManus, who's helped out in Winnipeg as well, and of course Kyle Walters. But those are two big losses. And you mentioned 13 of their 24 starters on offense and defense this year are either 30 years or more, and some of them are up there. I mean, Willie Jefferson is 33. I mean, Stanley Bryant just signed a new contract, and he's 38 now. Zach Collaros is 36 years old. And I'm not suggesting that Winnipeg is that those players for Winnipeg are going to lose a step immediately or not have that step this coming season. However, when you get to 30 years old, 31 years old, the injury bug sort of makes a camp right by your locker. And it's really hard to avoid that bug because the body starts to just break down a little bit. And it doesn't take as much to get hurt when you're 35, 36 years old. And a lot of their key guys on offense and defense are getting up there now. So, I think that'll be interesting to watch what they do in free agency. They have 25 of their 27 free agents are still going to be available as of right now going into February. We'll see. There's still time to re-sign some of those guys. But, it's an interesting thing to watch, especially those two key losses in Buck Pierce, the OC, and Ted Govaya.
We will watch, and then we will catch up with you on Thursday, back to the regular time. We're going to be broadcasting live from the College of Notre Dame in Wilcox, Saskatchewan.
Cool.
So
very,
there we go.
Very cool. And if there's any way I can substitute Grinch in the whole thing,
Grinch,
can we tap
Grinch
somebody out? Can we
call in tonight around 11:45 p.m. and they're playing in that bracket tonight. Awesome. Okay. Talk to you Thursday.
Talk to you later,
All right,
guys.
Suits.
So, that is press coverage with Glenn Suter for Quality Tire. 9 locations across Saskatchewan. QualityTire.ca. It is the all-new Sports Cage. Time for a quick break. We are streaming at sportscage.com, and as always, on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sports Cage is brought to you by Sherwood Co-op, proud supporter of our community with over 500 donations to local charities and nonprofits annually.
This is Country Gold with Steve Harmon, your home for the country hits of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Hello, I'm Steve Harmon, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week we play country favorites from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we check in with the stars who made them, too. This weekend on Country Gold.
Country Gold, brought to you by Trent Dickin and his experienced team at Flooring Superstore. Saturday mornings at 6 and Sunday afternoons at 4 on the Voice of Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
I give it top marks.
An A+.
It's a 10 out of 10 for sure.
The $10 sale is on now.
At Sherwood Co-op Food Stores.
Offering more local products than any other grocery store.
And for this week only,
the brands your family craves at amazing stock your pantry prices.
Like $10 a pound.
2 items for $10.
5 items for $10.
Or an amazing 10 items for $10.
Stock your pantry. Save your cash.
The $10 sale ends tomorrow.
We are members.
We are owners.
We are Sherwood Co-op.
Merry Christmas from all of us at Last Mountain Distillery, Saskatchewan's original micro distillery. We invite you to visit us in Lumsden for exclusive holiday products. Enjoy our hazelnut cream liqueur, salted caramel whiskey, and our chocolate hazelnut truffle. If you can't make it out to Lumsden, please visit your local retailer and ask for our award-winning, crisp, clean Last Mountain Distillery vodka. For more information, visit us at lastmountaindistillery.com. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money with us, and enjoy your holiday season.
Year-end clearance is happening right now at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are clearing the lot to make room for new inventory, which means crazy clearance prices on remaining new 2023 and 2024 vehicles. Up to $20,000 off, and you can drive away with $0 down, and you don't have to pay until 2025. We have over 200 new vehicles to choose from, including the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the entire Ram truck lineup. Do not miss year-end clearance at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Regina Royal Canadian Legion Branch 001 has the ultimate chance to make your holidays extra bright this Christmas. The Regina Legion Vehicle Raffle is on right now. For your $100 ticket, you have the chance to choose between 14 brand new vehicles. Proceeds from the lottery stay right here in Regina and go towards initiatives such as assisting homeless veterans, the RCMP, military, and preserving history in the museum. Draw date is December 12th. Get your tickets at reginalegion.com.
Lottery license number LR240035.
Hi, it's Carissa Hofford, award-winning singer-songwriter out of Saskatchewan, and on behalf of myself and BS Ranch by Minton Sask, Merry Christmas from all of us to you. We want to wish you the happiest of holidays and all the best in 2024.
It's that time of year where friends reunite and carols are sung. The team at Nelson GM wishes you a very Merry Christmas and all the best in the new year. NelsonGM.com.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Connect with the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262.
Those are some interesting stats from Glenn.
He came out firing. He was ready to go. It was interesting. Some good points there too from the Edmonton side and their press conference. Good stuff by Suits.
I looked up Doug Flutie just to kind of, it was 1990, he started in the CFL, and then his daughter, Alexa Flutie, comes up on Google and Instagram. Interesting. She's a cheerleader of some sort. So, if anyone's out on Google right now, you can search that. Yeah, Doug Flutie. Man, I thought he just came up here and just tore everyone a new one.
Well, he did.
But his first 18 games were maybe a little...
But worked his way into that, which I wasn't aware of either. But yeah, once he got it going, look out.
What do we got on the Capital Ford Lincoln text line when it comes to votes? Vicky Lazinski. Love that last name. 11 Days of Christmas by Metro. Hard vote. Although Dave Davis, Double D, I choose Bing Crosby all the way. I Will Be Home for Christmas. Between those two, I choose that one. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Okay. 936-6262, or you can just go to Twitter and vote. And a live update right now where we stand. For all you that are interested, we have... Who's leading? Do you have that, Colson? It's, here it is. Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy, trailing Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid. 1 hour left to vote. I'll Be Home is pulling away from Metro. Let's go. All you Metro fans out there, you got to vote, or Metro's one and done in this thing.
Those 22 votes might be coming in. We might be pegging those into the total.
Take a seat, Metro. Did you watch the Monday Nighter last night?
I did. Nice little win.
So we're talking to Rash about this a little bit more. Yeah. I needed Cincy -5.5 for a 4-game parlay. That was my 4th game to come in. And that's how it ended. Imagine if you're the other guy. Imagine if you're the +5.5. And the punt is blocked. And then the guy touches it and they take over. Joe Burrow is so good.
Yeah. You have to be an NFL fan to see what he's doing this year, because they're not their record isn't prime time.
Their defense stinks.
Yeah, but he's having an outstanding season. He's so fun to watch. He took some licks last night.
Yes.
Parsons off the edge there right in the
second.
second.
Get flagged on the one.
Yeah, I think it was the second quarter, right near the end of the second quarter. He comes around the corner untouched and just blasts him as Burrow steps into a hot route, throws a first down. Like, fantastic football to watch. But I mean, for me, the real winner of the night was
the kicker,
Cade York. I mean, come on. You go in, you win a game, and you go home with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Like, That's winning right there. That's winning.
He's dating. If you're watching the game last night, they kept showing his significant other, who is a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Good on that guy. Definitely winning in life. And then the Bengals pull out the win yesterday. It's I don't play fantasy football, but are you guys? You're in, Alan? But now it's playoff time, right? And how are you looking? Did you make the playoffs? Colson, do you play fantasy football?
Yeah, I should double check where I'm at.
I made the playoffs for mine. But,
you did?
Thanks to Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, those guys were actually pretty good.
Jamar Chase is so fast. Yeah. I had no idea. I don't watch them that much. And I was like, yeah, solid. If you're watching the stream, there it is right here. I'm sitting at home and I'm like, did I just seriously win this 4-game parlay on that? Well, it was more the punt.
Right.
The block punt. And Arash is texting me. He's like, did this just happen? You're cheering for me too, Colson, right? Because I said Colson likes to get into the game, Sports Select style, with my bets. But yeah, no, and then the fantasy football, like everyone's like, all my buddies, like, fantasy football, I don't play it. I don't know. Okay, so you didn't make the playoffs. You did. I don't have the attention span.
No, me neither. I'm not, I'm the opposite. Either I'll draft and never open it again, or I will spend the next 18 weeks and won't take my head out of the computer. I'll be all over it. So there's no in between for me. So I've done it a few times in the past and decided it's just best to park it.
I went in a hockey one with my family last year maybe, and we went in September. And I totally forgot until like March that we were even in. They're like, you did not bad. And I'm like, what?
Auto set.
Yeah. Who did I have? It's not for me, but I know a lot of people that totally love it.
Big playoff pools guy, me. That's where I like it. Get into the playoff pools, short time, a few weeks, a couple months, and then it's good.
Keniston Super Draft all the way.
Set it and forget it.
So one of my favorite things to do in fantasy, because I'm in with some of my younger brothers, and they try really hard in it, so I just send them completely disrespectful trades. So I'll pick up, like, Tom Brady's still in the list, but he's not playing. So I picked up Tom Brady, and I tried to trade him for Derrick Henry to my younger brother. Didn't go over well. So I figured Barney would appreciate doing that with his boy.
Awesome. Tonight, we're going to talk to Benny Walchuk, the SJHL report coming up in a bit. Wynyard Minor Hockey hosting SJHL game in Wynyard. Have you been to that new barn?
I haven't. I saw that note and it made me think of the new rink there. I haven't been to it.
Humboldt and Notre Dame, 7 p.m. in Wynyard. $15 for adults, $10 for students. I think under the age, probably we'll go 7 is free. If you don't get in, if you're 70, you don't get in. Say the guy in the sports cage said I'm free. They have a 50-50. All that tonight. So a little SJHL hockey in Wynyard, Saskatchewan tonight. Also, while we're on that, shout out. We got to give a shout out here. Benny sent it down. Maybe if we have time, we'll talk about it, but I'll give him a plug here. Skip Deeg. He's 1,300 game as a trainer for the Humboldt Broncos.
Oh, wow.
You've put in your time in Bonnyville and the junior hockey loop and all that. 1,300 games?
1,300's a lot. 1,300's a lot. We were 60 games, call it, on average. 60 games, I can't do that math even. That's a long time. That's a lot of junior games.
1,300 in the league. That would be 21 years?
Oh.
Skip. Good job. Imagine
nice
the
job
stuff.
by Skip.
Stuff that he's seen. The advancements in technology.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sticks.
He started by handing out
co-hosts.
Elastics for the shin pads, the canning rings or whatever they were.
those worked good, though. Remember when your parents just say, you put them on your thigh, and they're so tight, and you're like losing circulation.
Can't feel my toes. Just keep moving.
Yeah. Oh, and then it was like, that's with my kids too, and I'm sure yours are the same way. If kids lose an edge nowadays, the world has come to an end.
Oh yeah.
They can't play.
They have 3 blades in the locker room. And something just actually dawned on me that we just made a crack that he's been in the league for 21 years, and we go off on a tangent, and I played junior 20 years ago, so it wasn't that long ago, I guess.
I probably, you know what, probably considered a lot of playoff games in there too.
Yeah.
So Humboldt's always usually a solid
always
team.
go deep, yeah.
And then, but the skate thing, that's the thing where it's like, well, lost an edge.
Yeah.
It's like, so?
Yeah. Hopefully I can get to the store in the next 5 days. That was our approach.
or guy that used to sharp, he'd go to the rink, he's not there.
Hopefully he's in there. And then you started rolling the dice with those auto machines. And your skate might get stuck in it for 2.5 hours till it releases it back out. Those white, the vending machines.
There was always the old wives' tale. Guys would be like, "Oh, did you hear what happened? It grinded his skate right down to the plastic." I never saw it with my own eyes, but I believed it.
Oh, I believe it. Why isn't Pollock playing? I saw him in the lobby. Well, his skate is stuck in the vending machine. What?
Yeah, that's because Ralph wasn't open at the Belfort.
That's right. Yeah,
but you see all the rinks. You go to some of those rinks, and you still see. Like I wasn't a kid in Regina, but I could see where the guys would have been set up.
Oh yeah, and no ventilation in those little.
No,
they'd be like 5x5 rooms, just enough room for one guy to sharpen skates and just blasting around shavings and dust and
then different color skate laces and then different colored tape once in a while. And I never got any of that stuff as a kid unless Dad was banged up and it was payday.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, get him a roll of blue tape, Barron's. I'm like, I'm going to make this blue tape last all year.
Never retaping this stick.
This artist will never be retaped.
Sorry.
What a throwback. Okay, so don't forget, tomorrow, Wing Wednesday at the Canadian Brew House. Unbeatable. 69-cent wings. Each, they got a mountain of flavor, and flavor of the month. Not sure what that is this week. Do your wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brew House. 2 locations in Regina and 1 in Moose Jaw. Take a quick break. Planning to talk some curling here in the next 8 minutes. It is the all-new Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com.
Merry Christmas from all of us at Last Mountain Distillery, Saskatchewan's original micro distillery. We invite you to visit us in Lumsden for exclusive holiday products. Enjoy our hazelnut cream liqueur, salted caramel whiskey, and our chocolate hazelnut truffle. If you can't make it out to Lumsden, please visit your local retailer and ask for our award-winning, crisp, clean Last Mountain Distillery vodka. For more information, visit us at lastmountaindistillery.com. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money with us, and enjoy your holiday season.
No matter what is going on in your life, nothing in this world is more satisfying than giving to those in need. United Way is improving lives locally by helping kids be all they can be, moving people from poverty to possibility, and building strong and healthy communities. They're asking you to show your local love, donate, and support early literacy.
Visit unitedwayregina.ca to show you care. Donate and change the lives of people in need. Change begins with education.
0% financing or instant discount. The decision is yours to make at Future Ford in Melville. Right now, you can get into a brand new 2024 Ford F-150 and get 0% financing up to 72 months or get $8,000 off the price. Plus, as a bonus from Future Ford, they're throwing in free oil changes. If a new truck doesn't fit your lifestyle or needs, no problem. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Escape, Bronco Sport, Mustang Mach-E, and more. Check out their website, futureford.ca, and see their great selection today. The future is Future Ford in Melville.
Everyone at Freeze Tallman would like to wish you and yours happy holidays. We hope you build a mountain of holiday memories and remember that time with friends and family is the foundation of the holidays. So don't ever cut a chance to celebrate with loved ones short, even if you'd rather lumber off to bed. We hope this holiday season is the best one you ever saw. Happy holidays from Freeze Tallman in Regina and Fort Qu'Appelle. Let's get you building.
I give it top marks.
An A+.
It's a 10 out of 10 for sure.
The $10 sale is on now.
At Sherwood Co-op Food Stores.
Offering more local products than any other grocery store.
And for this week only,
the brands your family craves at amazing stock your pantry prices.
Like $10 a pound.
2 items for $10.
5 items for $10.
Or an amazing 10 items for $10.
Stock your pantry. Save your cash.
The $10 sale ends tomorrow.
We are members.
We are owners.
We are Sherwood Co-op.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Get social with us. Follow us on X @SportsCage. Watch our video stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio at 620 CKRM.
See, I knew that Metro 11 days from Christmas would be huge on the text line, and it is. So you can't go off the Twitter poll exclusively, because Colson's going to have to calculate all these. Look at this. Clayton, Metro. No Name, Metro. Ralph, Metro. Brent didn't vote. I'm sure he's going to. Send in your vote, Brent. He says the old exhibition arena in Saskatoon. Bert was the guy, sharpened skates. He'd press so hard sometimes, he would slow down the machine.
Oh, that is fantastic. That is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Is it supposed to be making that noise?
These must be new blades. Oh, remember when Daou came out with the gold blades?
Oh, yeah.
Those were hot for a while. Did you have the Bauer 99 skates, the white skates?
I was pretty down the middle. We were a pretty safe household, I'll put it that way. But nothing fancy, nothing flashy. The biggest time where I changed is when all the new Bauers came out, like the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Yeah. I was all over those. Mm-hmm. That's when
3,000 was probably the best skate I've ever had.
Yeah,
Bauer 3,000.
And then when we'll say I got a little bit better at the game, and I was all the way up to the Bauer 5,000 and just destroyed my feet. Like, my feet were a mess for about 5 years after that, with unneeded bone spurs and bumps and you name it.
I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but not everyone listens every day. Riddell came out with a skate, Riddell, and it was called the Switch It.
Yeah, not long though, eh? It was maybe only one model, maybe 2 years of the model.
I got sucked right in. Bike and Blade, Ottawa, Saskatoon. Mom, like, there were a lot of money, and I'm like, well, I can rollerblade all summer and then flip the blades on and skate. So my boots were slow. I was probably about 20 overweight, and then and these were the heaviest skates ever. Yeah. And it just dawned on me when I was younger and I was cleaning out a bunch of stuff in the shed, and I lifted it up, and I'm like, would anybody not say don't use these as skates?
Yeah.
Like, they were so heavy, and I think they were around, like you said, one and done.
They were the Mars Blade before there was a Mars Blade. You could switch them over.
You can switch over Mars Blades?
Yeah, that's what they are. You throw them on real skate boots.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So very similar. We got the battle going on. Battle has ensued. What is this? Band-Aid. Band-Aid's gonna beat Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy.
Now there's time. There's time. Maybe there's going to be a late push.
But I'm worried about Metro and Metro's camp right now. Like, they need a last hour and a bit push here. If any Metro fans out there and you don't have Twitter, 936-6262.
I was just going to say, go to x.com, hit sign up now.
If I know a lot of Metro fans, I do know a lot of Metro fans, they're not going to Twitter.
Well, that was kind of the point, that there may not be a lot of Twitter followers there, and
they have their TVs cranked up right now with Wheel of Fortune in the background, and us on the Sports Cage. Before we're going to give away 2 hours of simulator golf at the Royal Regina coming up in the next couple hours. At some point, we're going to give away here. We got 4 sims at the Royal Regina. I had a chance to smash a few into the screen the other day. We were playing Bandon Dunes, and I'm not big sim golf guy. It just seemed a lot different than the other sims I've played.
Yeah, it feels very real, which is awesome. I mean, you hit a ball, and sometimes in sims you hit it and you guess where it's gonna go or hope where it's gonna go, and this you feel it. If you play golf kind of on a regular basis, you kind of know what your miss is or know how it feels, and that's what happens on the screen. So it's pretty impressive that way.
Big cut I was like, oh, that's going to go left, and it went left on the screen. So it was legit. And then quickly, and like I said, we'll give away the passes, but an hour of sim at the Royal is how much?
$25. $25 an hour. Takes about for 4 people, it would take with a warm up. It takes about 4 hours to play. So an hour of golf for a person. You bring your buddies down, get a couple hours on the screen, and get a quick round in.
SJHL tonight, we mentioned in Wynyard, we have Humboldt and Notre Dame. That's right, in Wynyard. Weyburn and Melville, 1 point separating these two teams in the Viterra division. They also play this evening. And then Yorkton is up in Nipawin. Yorkton's got 27 points in the Viterra division, so it's tight there. WHL tonight. Extreme Hockey WHL report yesterday. They're giving back with their 12 days of giveaways right now. You have a chance to win with every purchase. Visit Extreme Hockey for details. Blades in Moose Jaw. Sorry. Blades in Medicine Hat. Moose Jaw's in PA.
That sounds like questions.
Blades in the Hat. That's a I want to say measuring stick game, right? If you're a Saskatoon, if you're a fan, if you're a Saskatoon fan, if you're a Saskatoon, the brass in Saskatoon, where are we? What are we doing? Does anyone want Molendyke? What are we getting for them?
Yeah,
or do we just go?
They're stuck in between a little bit right now with a big asset there for sure, and time's not running out, but time's running out that the market starts to get spent here a little bit. There's only so many teams that are willing to pay the price, and it's time here. But they sit atop the Eastern Conference, and they're in the mix there for sure. So are they buying or are they content at where they're at for sure?
No games in the AAA Midget Loop this evening, and what do we got? Oh, Prairie Junior Hockey League tonight. Fort Knox visiting the Regina Capitals at the Ritchie. Speaking of old good skate sharpener, I'm sure there's a good skate sharpener there at one point at the Ritchie.
For sure, right in that old waiting lobby there.
Yeah. That's right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to that game tonight, give us a concession check at 936-6262. Time for a break. When we come back after news, we'll talk to Arash Madani, and we have the SJHL report as well. It's the all-new Sportscage, streaming at sportscage.com.
This is Kathy Ingram, Director of Finance and Development for Souls Harbor Rescue Mission. And as Christmas approaches, we desperately need your help. The need for our programs and the cost of our programs has increased dramatically. And now with the postal strike, our financial donations have decreased as well. This holiday season, please help us help those in need. Donate online at shrmsk.com, via phone at 306-543-2475, or in person at 1650 Angus Street, Regina. Thank you.
Just put your trust in me. Hey, how are we getting home tonight? Oh, we've got options. Cool. What options? When I'm up, I can't get down. We can hire a ride. Or call my sister. Yeah. We can catch a ride with the band. Okay. Designate a driver. Grab a bus. You see? Lots of options.
The only option is to find a safe ride. How you do it is up to you. From everyone at SGI, take care out there.
The staff of JJ Trucking in Arcola would like to take a moment and consider those things that truly matter during the Christmas season. Merry Christmas and best wishes in the new year from everyone at JJ Trucking. 306-435-2429.
Everyone at Bronco Plumbing and Heating would like to extend the very best to everyone this Christmas. Enjoy the peace and joy that are all around this season. The management and staff of Bronco Plumbing and Heating in Emerald Park wish you a very Merry Christmas.
From the Sask Today newsroom, here's what's making news in Saskatchewan.
The Sask Party delivering on a couple of promises it made during the election campaign, including passing legislation to make life more affordable.
Sask Today's team of local journalists are on the ground in communities across Saskatchewan, focusing on local topics that matter to you. Visit and bookmark sasktoday.ca and sign up for our daily news digest. sasktoday.ca. Everybody has a story. From Harvard Media, everywhere.
The wait is finally over. Year-end clear-out is back at Capital Ford Lincoln. Get savings up to $20,000 on all remaining 2024s like the Ford F-150 or Ford Bronco lineup. Drive away today with $0 down and no payments until next year. Plus, we have a giant selection of pre-owned trucks and SUVs. You're going to find the perfect vehicle for you. It's finally back. Year-end clear-out at Capital Ford. CapitalFordLincoln.com.
Canada's National Ukrainian Festival will celebrate 60 incredible years on August long weekend. This will be a huge milestone cultural celebration featuring the biggest Ukrainian party bands, the best dance groups, and the most fun you'll ever have at the Salah Festival site south of Dauphin, Manitoba. Early bird weekend passes are now on sale for only $125. Like and follow Canada's National Ukrainian Festival on Facebook for updates. Order your weekend passes and camping passes online at cnuf.ca.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. There's some drifting snow and it's minus 17 in Regina. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News for Sherwood Co-op, a proud supporter of our community with over 500 donations to local charities and nonprofits annually, and by Mercedes-Benz Regina, for those who can. Mercedes-Benz-Regina.ca. Children at Grant Road School had a chance to meet their heroes as members of the Saskatchewan Roughriders were on hand this morning to launch the Rough Rider Foundation's Rider Reading Program. In the last year, the initiative visited 105 schools, completed 404 reading presentations, and reached more than 12,000 students. Receiver Mitchell Picton says he enjoys the opportunity to speak and read to the students and answer their questions.
You get a lot of interesting questions. You always get, do you have a girlfriend? You always get asked, how much do you make? And also a lot about reading, and we're here to talk about reading and mental wellness as well. So we get a lot of questions about, stories that we've gone through in our lives.
The Rough Rider Foundation also announced the Passing Pages Literacy Initiative, where donors can support youth reading by providing curriculum-specific books to classrooms in need. Canada Post says it doesn't see an end to sight for the nearly 4-week-long strike by thousands of its workers. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers recently sent over its latest list of proposals, but Canada Post says the proposals don't bring the two sides any closer together in a dispute that's brought millions of deliveries to a halt this holiday season. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said his government is putting pressure on the two sides to reach an agreement. Another high-profile leader is voicing his opposition to incoming U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to oppose a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico. U.S. President Joe Biden says the proposed tariff would hurt America's neighbors and American consumers.
Who do you think pays for this? I believe this approach is a major mistake.
Canada's premiers plan to meet with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tomorrow to talk about Trump's tariff proposal. Mental health specialists are sounding the alarm over the holidays for children. While many enjoy the festivities, for others it can be a difficult time filled with anxiety, stress, and loneliness. Canadian Press health reporter Nicole Ireland says some children think they have to be perfect at this time of year.
They feel pressured to pretend that they're, the perfect child, or pretend that they're constantly happy because that's what they think their families expect of them. So one of the pieces of advice that the mental health experts I spoke to said, refocus on this just being a time to relax, to connect with family, take some of that pressure off.
Ireland says experts suggest that parents keep open communication over the break and keep an eye out for any significant changes in their kids' behavior. That's your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next.
I give it top marks.
An A+.
It's a 10 out of 10 for sure.
The $10 sale is on now.
At Sherwood Co-op Food Stores.
Offering more local products than any other grocery store.
And for this week only,
the brands your family craves at amazing stock your pantry prices.
Like $10 a pound.
2 items for $10.
5 items for $10.
Or an amazing 10 items for $10.
Stock your pantry. Save your cash.
The $10 sale ends tomorrow.
We are members.
We are owners.
We are Sherwood Co-op.
Put yourself in the driver's seat of the sporty Mercedes-Benz CLA 250, the timeless C300, or the versatile GLC 300 SUV. The choice is yours. Now leasing your new Mercedes-Benz is easier than ever. For $399 bi-weekly plus tax and 0 down, you can step into the luxury you deserve. Your luxury, your choice. Your Mercedes-Benz. Book your test drive today.
And now it's time for your 620 CKRM precision weather forecast for Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street, and brought to you by Wolf Industries, your truck repair specialist in Grenfell, servicing all sizes of trucks, SGI accredited. Tonight it'll be clear with a low of -28. Tomorrow, sunshine and a high of -22. Thursday, sunshine and a high of -19. At this hour in Moose Jaw, there's some light snow. Winds are from the northwest at 18 and it's -14. Regina has some drifting snow. Winds are from the northwest at 41 and it's -17. For more local news that matters to you, subscribe to the daily newsletter at sasktoday.ca.
Whether Smokey's after you or not, when you're on the road in your big rig, you're in a hurry to get to where you're going, and you need a part shop you can trust. Wolf Industries is the premium choice. They're your family-run truck mechanic shop with a full line of parts for big semis, with certified AC technicians for the hot summer. Stop in at their Grenfell location for all the parts and repairs you need. They're SGI accredited for safety inspections and have 24-hour emergency call-out. Wolf Industries, the best for your truck. 10-4.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line-X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line-X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line-X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line-X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line-X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Sask Lotteries, bringing communities together. Sask Lottery products fund over 12,000 sports, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936. 6262. The all-new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Hour 2 of the program. Barney Shinkerick, Ryan Pollock, Colson, Curtis, Allen. Whole band is here today. Still a lot to get to. I teased curling talk with Randy Bryden. That's coming up in hour 3. Sorry for all your curlers. I made you hang around. Might as well vote then on our Christmas Sports Cage song bracket. If you're into that kind of thing, we got Metro still trailing. Metro fans out there, wake up. He needs you.
He needs you. We need a nudge. Need a nudge here.
Band-Aid is still in the lead as well. So it's on Twitter if you want to vote there, or 936-6262. We're going to get to Arash Madani here in a bit. Striker Zablocki played for the Regina Rebels last year. Now playing at a prep school in New York. Got named to Canada's under-18 women's team again.
Wow. Fantastic.
Solid player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some big prep school in New York. I looked it up. So he's one of the only Canadians on the team. And I just got to think, I'm like, this has got to be a wagon.
Yeah, legit.
I texted Rene Benoit. I said, what's this team that she's on? He's like, yeah, I think all of them are like NCAA commits. And they're all skating together.
So essentially just like a prep school that we're used to. And yeah, awesome.
Like they would slap us around. If we got a group of guys together, for maybe the guys from Balgonia and the Hounds, they would take us to the woodshed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a given there.
The all-new Sports Cage and Coast to Coast with Arash Madani is brought to you by Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Arash Madani. Oh, we're starting with Cincinnati, Dallas. And we talked about it at the start of the show. Imagine if I feel for the guys and girls that had Dallas plus 5.5.
Excuse me. Barney, I don't know if there is a more Cowboys way to lose than that one. Off a blocked punt that you muff the return, and then Cincinnati recovers, and then you go soft man coverage on Jamar Chase for the game-winning touchdown. Like, that is implosion? Is that the right?
Well, they've lost games this year, definitely, because of offense, definitely because of defense, and now because of special teams. The trifecta.
Right. I don't know, man.
the-
Like, it's
all three
inventing
phases.
ways to lose. Like your buddy Mr. Pollock there, he's been around a lot of bad football in his day. Like there's traditional ways of losing, the turnover battle doesn't go your way, or you're banged up, or the other team's just better than you. This was the Cowboys like inventing a new method to just be a disgrace.
Yeah, it's like speechless after seeing it and watching it, and I agree. It looked like Jamar Chase just kind of catches that out in the flat and jogs his way in for the winning touchdown. So it was an interesting.
Did it bring up old times, my man? Did it rekindle a few
Yeah, there was a few of those. There were some good days though too. Let's get that out
There
there.
were some great days.
There was a few tougher ones as well.
Yeah.
I think can we go back? Sorry. I know we're putting a lot on Colson right now. Can you play that highlight? Can you play the highlight again on the final score here? Let's watch this closely if you're watching the stream. Watch this. He throws it out in the flats. He scores if it's touch football. He scores there if it's touch, man.
Colson, one more time. Watch when Chase first catches the ball. Colson, you play that. It's almost like as if he's bracing to be tackled. And he's like, wait a minute, no one's here. I can get loose.
Does
like
he
even
explode?
Jamar Chase couldn't believe it. It's like one of those, don't you know I'm Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Guys?
Pretty good player. They should be aware of him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dallas fans, but I hit a 4-game parlay with that. That was dirty. There's no way that should happen. The block punt. I'm like, oh, someone from Dallas touched this. They did. What a ride it is. Bill Belichick really getting into college coaching?
I'm trying to figure out what the play is here. And I get that college has now turned into what the NIL and transfer portal. It's become, as much like the NFL or pro football as anything. I wonder if Belichick is using this as a kind of warning sign, a little smoke signal to every NFL owner out there that's thinking about firing their coach at the end of the season, being like, if you don't start talking to me back channel, I'm going to North Carolina. I'll go to college. I've already met with the chancellor. I'm openly talking about it. I'll bring my son from the University of Washington. I don't know. Like, what's the play here for him to openly discuss this and for him to float this out to the Schefters of the world?
I think you're right. And then I also think it's like, I will come, but then my son gets the job immediately after me for as long as he wants it.
Could be.
It feels like he covers both sides to Arash's point here. He gets that message out that I'm still willing and wanting to work. And he talks about the structure and how it'll be an NFL system in a college environment and all those things. So he's kind of covering off both bases, and those NFL owners are going, well, what kind of structure are you talking about here? Maybe there's still some appetite for you to come in and reorganize our team a little bit here. And if it doesn't work out on that side, he's already laid the groundwork to go after recruits if it did become a real thing at UNC.
And here's who I find the most intriguing kind of piece to all of this is actually Russell Wilson. Like, Denver is paying Russell Wilson this year almost $40 million not to play for the Broncos. And he goes on a veteran minimum salary to Pittsburgh, and he's having all this success with a veteran coach like Mike Tomlin who's been through it before. Does Belichick have a vet quarterback in mind that he thinks he can win with? And the name I keep thinking about, because, look, Belichick's sour, Belichick has agendas, Belichick has vendettas. Does he think that he can screw the Jets and go to the Giants with Aaron Rodgers and win?
Yo,
Does
he
does
definitely
think
does.
that? I wonder. I really wonder about that because I can't imagine. Like why is Bill coming back? Because he wants to break Don Shula's all-time coaching record. He's not there to develop a young quarterback fresh out of college.
No.
And
So
he's embarrassed.
Yep.
Who's the vet quarterback that could be available that you think you can win with? There aren't a ton out there. Joe Flacco.
But you know what though? I think we know Aaron Rodgers is a little delusional, and then I think Bill is too. Like as a guy that watched all of those games, the last 2 years in New England, it was like, buddy, walk away. I think the game has passed you by. You can't work with the younger guys. It's different. You can't work with some of the coaches anymore. So, hey, I hope an NFL team signs him just to see if I'm correct. And if I'm wrong, I will definitely admit it and say, well, didn't see that coming. And then the Russell Wilson thing, the only comparable out there I feel to it is Deshaun Watson. Cleveland. God. What a signing. Is that the worst contract in the history of sport?
Active contract? Yeah, probably. You know? Cleveland would love to get away from that. But no one's going to take on that money. That's the thing. Regardless if you think you can revive that career. I just don't know who else really is available from a veteran quarterback standpoint, fellas, to be honest with you.
Kirk Cousins.
Whoa.
Yeah,
whoa,
you know what? Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I saw the best stat of all. I don't know, like, look, we can get into all the analytic debates that we want. The stat that cannot be debated is that in the last 30 days, Homer Simpson has thrown for more touchdown passes than Kirk Cousins' zero.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't it?
That's awesome. Did you watch any of that? Did you see any of that feed?
A little bit. I wanted to see. They had to make it entertaining. They had to make it work. There was no choice in the matter. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, it was a little much. I liked the Nickelodeon plays in the past than that. I felt that one was a little further of a stretch for me, but it was cool to see for a call it a drive or 5 minutes of time or whatever. But then I wanted to watch the game.
The first thing that comes to my mind when I see it, and it's really happening. Is this the Fonzie jumping the shark thing for The Simpsons? Like, is this the end of the line for The Simpsons? Are they trying to revive this brand with this? Because nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
It seems like grasping at straws to me, but maybe I'm not in the meetings. I don't know how that goes down. We talked about it. You had a vote. Summer McIntosh, Canada's Athlete of the Year for 2024. What goes into this process?
Well, it actually extends over a couple of months where about 25 or 30 media members from across the country are invited to take part in a discussion today. And everyone's invited to send in names of people they believe should be worthy candidates as Athlete of the Year for the Northern Star Award. There were 15 names that came up. Like, guys, I can't remember the last time there's been this strong with this kind of range of athlete available for Athlete of the Year. Like Chuba Hubbard of Edmonton has rushed for over 1,000 yards this year in the NFL with Carolina, and there's still a month to go. Brady Oliveira, MOP and Most Outstanding Canadian. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the NBA is averaging better than 30 a night. And then there's McIntosh. Shea was runner-up for MVP in the NBA, and basketball is the number 2 participation sport on earth. Like, think of the depth of field. There's an argument to be made that Shea's the best basketball player on the planet. So what happens is from 15, the conversation kind of starts among everybody on the Zoom call. and then everybody submits a list of 5 names for finalists. McDavid was one, McIntosh was one, Shea was one, Natalie Spooner was one, and Ethan Katzberg, the hammer thrower, your buddy, Barney.
Yes.
Your good friend. Yes.
I
And then from there,
I still got to go try that.
Right. And from there, more conversation, then everybody puts in one vote. And McIntosh, I was told, was the overwhelming winner.
Landslide.
Yeah. Hey, Arash. So you mentioned there McDavid finished in the finalists there, which is interesting. Obviously, a Conn Smythe historic playoff run. Where did Nathan McKinnon slot into all this as the Hart Trophy winner of the NHL?
Yeah, he was in the conversation, Ryan. And man, it's interesting. Like, I don't know where you stand on it because this is Athlete of the Year. And for those watching on the stream, I thought this was one of the coolest sports moments of the year. Nikola Jokic, the NBA MVP in Denver, coming out with the Hart Trophy to hand it to the captain or to the assistant captain of the Colorado Avalanche. What matters more? What's the bigger achievement for a year? Is it regular season MVP? Or is it the 2-month playoff run? McDavid wasn't the leading scorer. He wasn't even close through the regular season, but obviously put together a postseason for the books. So I guess a lot with any kind of award, a lot of these things are interpretation too. Like, what matters to you? What do you think is more significant? Is it playoff performance? Is it regular season performance? I think that weighs into things as well.
Every time I see someone with the red carpet out there like that, I think of the anthem singer that bit
Quebec
it.
City.
Double spill.
How you ever forget it?
Oh, it's so good. It's just every
Yeah,
time.
I just want to say one more thing on Summer, guys. Like, this is crazy. Like, so she wins 3 golds and a silver at the Olympics at age 17. Today, so the silver was in the 400-meter freestyle. That's the one event that she didn't win a gold medal in. Today, in Budapest, she set the world record in the 400-meter freestyle. So, like, she is just checking off everything already as a teenager. It's wild.
It is. It's hard to believe. I know we do have some baseball hardos out there. Jordan Romano with the Blue Jays. Time is done. Like, how do you capsulize that?
Well, like, Romano's from Markham, like a Toronto suburb, a Canadian boy. Like, when you think about his story, here's a guy drafted by the Jays, and basically on the scrap heap, Texas brought him in for like a hot minute. They didn't want him. The Jays were like, all right, I guess we'll take him back. And he evolves into this lockdown, shutdown closer for a couple of years. They had the light show in the 9th inning when he'd come into games. He became an all-star. And then stop if you've heard this before. The dude gets injured. And he's going to go to Philly. And I'll just say this. And, like, I think sometimes fans are looking for a little peek behind the curtain. I remember talking to Jordan the day before the playoff game in 2022, the series against Seattle. And we were just chatting in the dugout. He'd finished his workout. And we were talking about the idea that here's a dude who as a kid would come to the ballpark, you know, wanting to be a Blue Jay. And now tomorrow you might be able to pitch in a playoff game to close it out. And he looked at me and said, you know, some mornings I wake up and I can't believe this is my life. Like, so often we hear about athletes and this and that and, you know, stay in the moment and blah, blah, blah. Like, Romano was just like, if he wasn't doing this, he'd probably be working construction. He's like, do you know how cool it is? His grandparents came from Saskatchewan to some games. His parents would be regulars at the game. His sister threw out a first pitch at a game. Like, he actually appreciated and understood it, and he became a fan favorite, in part because he's from here, in part because of his story, and in large part because he was pretty damn good.
I can't. I'm having a tough time wrapping my head around the Juan Soto money. Like, I know at some point we are going to have $1 billion. I don't know if it's baseball or basketball that it comes first, but you know, last year with Ohtani, and it was like, nah, that's not going to happen. And then now this, and it's like, I've never hated the Mets more. Where, like, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., like, what would he be thinking about this?
Well, I think so. Otani's 10-year 700, Soto's 15, 765. I think Vlad's saying to himself, if I have a big year, I'm a $500 or $600 million player.
Well, what are the Blue Jays thinking about it? That's the can they stay in that market, Arash?
I mean, they can, but if Vlad gets to free agency, is he going to come back? What's he coming back to? By the end of 2026, Chris Bassett, Kevin Gausman, Dalton Varsho, Bo Bichette, Vlad, they're all free agents. Like, they have mismanaged their assets. And what kind of message have you sent Guerrero when you said, we're all in on Otani, we're all in on Soto, and we're not even talking to you about a contract yet? That I can't imagine that's going over too well with the Guerrero camp.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, and then what are you selling? That becomes the question if you're the Jays.
Jeez, so much money. Yeah, I don't know. Where does it end? Do you wanted to talk about insiders?
Yeah, well, in part because the guy sitting beside you, like we don't really know what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is thinking. Mm-hmm. We didn't really know what Juan Soto wanted, other than a lot of money. Who can blame him? And people ask me, well, what do you think goes on here? What do you think's happening back there? And my honest answer always is, I don't know. And we hear about insiders all the time. And the reason I say the guy beside you is because when you work for a team, you see so much stuff that you wouldn't even imagine existed in a day-to-day. And when you don't work in a team, you don't know anything that's going on there. What do you think, Ryan? Like, what gets out? 5 to 10% of what's happening inside the building?
Yeah,
maybe.
Sure. That's a safe ballpark number on it, I guess. But you're right, and I think it swings both ways. I think fans always want to see behind the curtain for the dirty stuff and the bad stuff. But sometimes there's a lot of good stuff that happens that people don't know about, and positive relationships where potentially people are wrong. No further than one that occurred here just a couple of years ago with Jason Moss and Cody Fajardo, that the belief all around town was there was a disconnect, and they were on different pages and couldn't get along. And as soon as Coach Moss was down the road, Cody was right behind him back into the same locker room. So sometimes there's those things happening internally that give a different external perception to it, and we don't know what's happening for sure inside. But relationships and meetings and locker room dynamics and all those things people aren't necessarily aware of, and a lot happens. A lot goes into player conversations. A lot goes into re-signings and new signings and transactions that people aren't necessarily aware of, but they're an integral part, Rash. I'll say that you know me from my position, that insiders are an integral part to help promote your league and stay in the conversation while the league's in full swing, and also when it's maybe a little bit of downtime.
Yeah. Here's the other thing I find fascinating. One of my kind of like quote unquote strategies when talking to people is like, hey, what can you tell me to make me sound smart? Even say like just from an X's and O's standpoint or whatever. And if you have a good relationship with somebody, they might give you just a little bit of intel so that, I come on the Sportscage, I can say, well, it wouldn't surprise me if the Riders, the Bombers, the Stamps, the Elks want to do this and use a certain player this way on Friday night. And then you go listen to some of the podiums and you're like, wait a minute, what this guy told me off the record, kind of confidentially, whatever, he kind of contradicted himself at the podium. So sometimes I'm like, I got to take what people say at the podium with a grain of salt too, because they're trying to kind of run. They know that the opponent is listening. They know the opponent is watching. They don't want to give them any kind of secrets or any insight on what's going on. So that's a delicate balance too that I find.
That's those dang PR guys getting in the coach's ear before he goes to the podium. Hey, it's funny you just said that you know the opposition's listening, because I was sitting here while you were talking, thinking about how a former offensive coordinator with the Riders came on this show. This was many years ago. Came on this show and talked about how he has a play that they call Kentucky, and talked about concepts. There was no play in our playbook called Kentucky with any of those concepts, but he knew that other coaches around the league were listening to the show.
Oh, I was like, was he banged up when he was on the show? I was like, that's Kentucky.
Which also, guys, speaks to the insanity of these people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to make up something because I know my counterpart's listening.
Okay. Speaking of insiders, it's neck and neck here. We need a couple of votes from you on our Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song bracket. I don't know if you're a big Christmas song guy in Truro, Nova Scotia. If you know, mom and dad would get a good tap in the feet, you know, what would be the one? But we narrowed it down to the top 16 yesterday with our listeners. So the first two games going on as we speak. It's Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid, all-time classic, raised a lot of money for famine relief in Africa, against Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy by Buck Owens, also done by Brad Paisley and Garth Brooks. So who are you voting on that one? You're right in ballot here.
I'm going to go with Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy.
Oh, see, this is very similar to Canada's Athlete of the Year. These are big votes here.
Yeah.
And then the other one is I'll Be Home for Christmas, Bing Crosby.
I'm here to support the divorce lawyers out there, Barney. I'm trying to get you a divorce lawyer sponsorship for the show.
I'll Be Home for Christmas by Bing Crosby. Now, don't vote on brand. It's like Alabama, just because it's Bing Crosby. He's up against 11 Days from Christmas by Metro, very popular in the Ukrainian community here in Saskatchewan. Who are you voting for there?
I think just the OG song is the Bing Crosby tune, isn't it?
Okay. You went Bing Crosby. Metro's in trouble. Everybody out there. Like, we're going to need a late push here in the last 45 minutes of Metro fans, 936-6262, or vote at Sportscage Twitter. Thursday, I'm coming at you again Thursday. We don't know who will be playing on Thursday, Arash, but if you want to brush up your Christmas music, which would be your favorite one? Not that we can add them in here. We can't have write-ins at this point.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey guy? Maybe Christmas in Hollis? Run DMC? Reggae Christmas? Brian Adams?
I think Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town still gets my juices pumping a little bit, you know?
Old school, right?
Yeah,
just stand back there and shoot. Stand back there and shoot. Don't be flashy.
Sammy Darnold is coming to town, baby.
Twist it into a Vikings. All right.
Hey, I'll be at the Monday Nighter next week for you, Rash. I'll be cheering on your Vikes. Yeah. And I'll be there.
I'll send you a couple of recos of places to go in the Twin Cities, my man.
Perfect.
Right on. See you, Rash.
See you, boys.
Coast to Coast, the Rash Madani for Brian Gawley. Smart Investing Solutions. You heard Brian just before we started the program. Said market's pretty flat today. So you can always catch Brian or get him for your investing advice. Quick break here. When we come back, we got the Clutch Performer. It's the all-new Sportscage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sportscage is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
The Harvard Media Holiday Auction is December 11th to 16th. It's the perfect time to get that Christmas shopping done.
Hi, Cody, Gloria, 620 CKRM Mornings. And here are some great items that'll be on our Harvard Media Holiday Auction. Jewelry and piercing gift cards valued at $100. Singing lessons. Tons of restaurant gift cards. Annual gym memberships. Home improvement gift cards valued at $500 and more.
The Harvard Media Holiday Auction is December 11th to 16th. Visit HarvardMediaAuctions.com for all the details.
Get ready for winter, all winter long, with Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. A new Bryant furnace can keep your whole home warm. And right now, you can finance your Bryant furnace with Bronco for a special rate of 4.99%. and don't start paying for 6 months. Plus, don't forget about available rebates on qualifying furnaces. Be ready for winter with Bryant and Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. BroncoPlumbing.com. Bronco and Bryant. Whatever it takes.
The Saskatchewan Snowmobile Association would like to remind you to be safe this winter. Proper snowmobile clothing, including gloves, boots, and helmets, should be worn at all times. Also, please remember to register your sleds. Registration fees go to the clubs to help cover grooming and maintenance costs. And always respect private property. Off-trail riding on private lands without permission is trespassing. And finally, remember, speed, drugs, and alcohol kill. Never ride impaired. For more info or to take the snowmobile safety course, visit sasksnow.com.
Titan Automotive, part of the Capital Auto Group family, wants to take the time to wish you and your loved ones a happy holiday and all the best in 2025. Visit titanauto.ca.
Newton Boys Moving. The two small men with big hearts of Regina would like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and remind you all that Jesus is the reason for the season. Have a safe and joyous holiday and all the best in 2025.
Happy holidays from Harvard Media.
This winter, make sure you have tires that are ready to handle the snowy and icy roads and get them at Quality Tire. If you don't have winter tires, this is the time to get them. At 7 degrees Celsius, the rubber on all season tires start to harden in the cold. With winter tires, you'll be able to stop sooner and avoid the accident in front of you. And start driving quicker in case the car behind you doesn't have winter tires from Quality Tire. With 9 locations across Saskatchewan.
QualityTire.ca. Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
You hear those jingle bells? That means the holiday season is on its way. So it's time to start planning your work or family holiday parties. Leave the cooking to Western Pizza and enjoy all your Western Pizza favorites this holiday season. Call your local Western Pizza about catering or hosting your holiday get-together today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel John Murray of the Salvation Army. The Canada Post strike is threatening our ability to support struggling Canadians because mail-in donations have ceased. But there's still time to help. By giving online today at salvationarmy.ca or by calling 1-800-SAL-ARMY, you ensure we can help our neighbors with food, practical assistance, and shelter. Please don't wait. When poverty gives someone an impossible choice, your donation is their answer. Donate now at salvationarmy.ca or by calling 1-800-SAL-ARMY. That's 1-800-725-2769.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Margaret had questions, she talked to Brian Golly.
He's very personable, professional, and keeps you confident in what he's doing.
You don't have to plan your financial future alone. Call Brian Golly of Smart Investing Solutions, 306-546-2533.
I would not hesitate to recommend him to friend, relative, or anybody else.
There's nothing quite like the Christmas season to bring out the best in everyone. Bronco Plumbing and Heating would like to wish one and all a very safe and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from the management and staff at Bronco Plumbing and Heating in Emerald Park.
For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Merry Christmas from the Regina Catholic School Division, rcsd.ca.
The all-new Sportscage is live streaming from our Century Studios in downtown Regina. Watch now at sportscage.com. Be part of the show by texting 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Clutch performer time for Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. You call 781-1077. Had someone message us this in U13B action from the weekend. Prairie Storm shading the Blues 6-5. Clutch performers in the game: Finn Kessler, 1 goal, 2 assists. Lincoln Beston, 1-1. And then for the Blues, Blake Wilby, Cash Wall, both had 1 goal, 1 assist. So clutch performer on the local front.
Tight game.
It was the Prairie Storm shading the Blues and some U13B action. The other clutch performer for Nick's service, we're going Joe Burrow. Last night, what was his stat line?
His stat line was 300. He threw for 369 yards and got 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately, 1 interception, but that's still
$369?
Yes.
Ooh. It's unreal.
Yeah. 369 and 3. One late.
One interception. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. You're going to throw it around. Sometimes things are going to happen.
And he won the game this time.
Yeah. Thanks to Nick Service in Emerald Park. They're sponsoring our Clutch Performer, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. Maz, you guys got to give Maz a heads up tomorrow because there's so many SJHL games for Clutch Performers tonight. Don't forget, 7 p.m. If you're in the Wynyard area, Humboldt and Notre Dame, 7 p.m. The what's the rink called there? Co-op something. Really nice, brand new barn in Wynyard. And then elsewhere in the league, Yorkton is in Nipawin and Weyburn Melville. 1 point separating those teams in the Viterra division. That's a good game in the area tonight if you want to go watch. WHL, Blades are in Medicine Hat. Interesting game there. See how the Blades match up now as the season progresses. Medicine Hat does have a few guys going to camps, but be an interesting one. Moose Jaw's up in Paradise to take on the Raiders, and Wenatchee is at Seattle. Prairie Junior Hockey League. Fort Knox at the Al Ritchie this evening, taking on the Regina Capital. 7:45 puck drop.
Love the Al Ritchie. Still think it's one of the best rinks in the city. Cooperator Center included. Still love the Ritchie.
Ritchie versus Wick. See, the Wick would be a good barn if they had a concession.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had a team from Saskatoon show up. They're like, where do we get fries? But Randy Smith was coaching.
Yep.
He's like, hey, Shink, where do I get some fries? I'm like, across the street at that bowling alley.
Yeah. And then you got the Ritchie on the other hand, where you can smell the onions cooking from the Ritchie at the Wick across town. I love, too, that the SJHL plays those rural site games at these rinks. I think it's a fantastic way for them to continue to grow visibility throughout the league. A lot of times these players that are involved in these games may be from the community or near the community, so good on the SJ to move those games around, especially to these places that have these newer type of rinks.
We're going to get to the SJHL report after the next break. Sharky just texted in, everybody. He wants give him a Buck Owens and a Metro voting on the Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song bracket.
Shark Auctions can get on X and get a vote.
He's not on Twitter or X. Old school. Unfortunate news, too. We won't talk to Benny about this in the SJ report, but Weyburn, another leak. So the rink is down. I feel so bad for the kids in Weyburn. Weyburn City, the city of Weyburn, they put out a release, update on Crescent Point Place and the Tom Zandy Sports Arena. Yeah, they found another ammonia leak. So it's going to be down, I think, until the new year. Really unfortunate. Tough, especially for, like I said, for the kids and the SJ team. Well, that throws a monkey wrench on a lot of things.
Yeah,
neutral sites.
Yeah, I was going to ask, and we can check in and see where what's the deal with Weyburn's schedule and that obviously they've been tipped upside down, and whether they go out on the road or neutral sites, but hard to make up those games in the middle of the season.
And I know ice time is tough in a lot of these small towns, but you start playing some of these games in the awesome small town rinks that we have around, like the ones that could host it.
Yeah.
Just do that. Neutral site, game it up. Maybe
it'd be
chuck an outdoor game in somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
We put it on Sportscage. Should put one on.
We'll put one out there.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
It's the all-new Sportscage SJHL report coming up after this break. We are streaming at sportscage.com.
Water heater and water softener rentals are now available at Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Instead of paying big money up front, you can rent a water heater and water softener directly from Bronco without the worry or hassle. They have a long history of renting water heaters and water softeners, and they're maintenance-free. Bronco comes and does all that for you. Saskatchewan's best water heater rentals are from Bronco. Call 306-781-2090. Professional, courteous service. BroncoPlumbing.com.
The wait is finally over. Year-end clear-out is back at Capital Ford Lincoln. Get savings up to $20,000 on all remaining 2024s like the Ford F-150 or Ford Bronco lineup. Drive away today with $0 down and no payments until next year. Plus, we have a giant selection of pre-owned trucks and SUVs. You're going to find the perfect vehicle for you. It's finally back. Year-end clear-out at Capital Ford. CapitalFordLincoln.com.
Come on down to Extreme Hockey and Sport for that special player on your Christmas list. Extreme Hockey is giving back with their 12 days of giveaways. Come and visit the redesigned store. Check out the Bauer Fit Lab for your custom skate fitting and demo the new shooting lane. The Christmas sale at Extreme Hockey and Sport for that special hockey player on your list. Feel great on and off the ice. Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, and the Pro Shop, conveniently located at the Cooperator Center.
Hi, it's Carissa Hofford, award-winning singer-songwriter out of Saskatchewan, and on behalf of myself and BS Ranch by Minton Sask, Merry Christmas from all of us to you. We want to wish you the happiest of holidays and all the best in 2024.
It's that time of year where friends reunite and carols are sung. The team at Nelson GM wishes you a very Merry Christmas and all the best in the new year. NelsonGM.com.
Time now for the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League report on the all-new Sportscage. The SJHL report is brought to you by Southie Mainline, the Mainline Automotive Group's newest king of trucks. Southie Mainline, just 30 minutes north of Regina. Worth the drive, every time, guaranteed.
Okay, you heard the big intro. It is time for the SJHL report. Southie Mainline Chrysler, like we mentioned yesterday, hold the payments for 90 days when you purchase a new vehicle at Southie Mainline Chrysler. Also, over $13,000 off select 2024 Ram 1500s, 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokees. I had to look at that twice. I was like, $13,000 off. That's crazy. New king of trucks, Southie Saskatchewan, worth the drive every time. Okay, Benny, worth the drive game last week. We won't talk about that. I wanna start by maybe worth the drive this week, but it's tonight. It's in Wynyard, the beautiful new arena there, new-ish arena in Wynyard's hosting an SJ game.
Yeah, it's going to be Notre Dame and Humboldt. I think it's going to be a Notre Dame home game, but it's going to be like a home game for Humboldt being just down the road as well. Yeah, it's a great facility. Notre Dame does this a few times. They did Carlisle. They've done a few other communities. They're going to be doing here Kenora for Hockey Day in Saskatchewan coming up in January as well. So it's a great venue. We've watched some senior games there before. It's a great little venue to have a beverage and watch the concourse, and it's a great facility, and the people of Wynyard do a good job maintaining that. So it should be a great matchup there tonight in Wynyard between the Broncos, who are kind of struggling here as of late, and the Notre Dame team that's kind of resurgent here the last couple weeks.
7 p.m. puck drop, $15 for adults, $10 for students. Kids are free. I'm sure the canteen is awesome. Go check it out. You talked about Kenora, Hockey Day in Saskatchewan. I'm so looking forward to visiting Kenora, Saskatchewan for the first time ever for that event. That's going to be great. We got Marty McSorley and then Don Chesney. I'm emceeing the event and the hot stove with Brandon from the Monday Nooner. Like we just said, well, Don, did they got enough time for Chesney's stories? Like that's going to be wild. Hopefully you get to pop in.
Yeah, he's one of a kind. He's actually really good friends with my dad and my uncle. And actually, Chess is going to come with me to Dauphin on Sunday because he's a scout for the Dauphin Kings. So he's going to come on the road trip for me when I go with the Swan Valley. So I've known Chess for probably pretty much my whole life, and it's always a heck of a time to have him in the vehicle.
Okay, I'm going to be leaning on you for some stories to ask him when we're doing the hot stove there in Kenora. Back to the SJHL. What's up this week? You know, what do you? Who's on the hot streak, maybe player-wise, that you're watching?
Yeah, right now it's we talked about last week. It's Malford and Flin Flon continuing their strong play. I think Malford's got 10 in a row, and Flin Flon's got 8 or 9 in a row wins, and it just goaltending's been good for them. But of Riley Cote, we talked about him last week, and he resurged. He's now in the league leading in goals with 20. He's got 39 points on the season to vault into the SJHL scoring lead. So that's a big part of it. They've also added Ashton Paul, who played in Flin Flon last year in a trade from Dauphin. He's a great player. He had a great couple of years with the Pobler, the Northern Manitoba Blizzard, now in the MJHL. So it's a good pickup for him to add to that depth up front. So the Melford Mustang team is still very, very good. I'm not sure why they're not towards the top of the CJHL rankings. I think they're getting a little bit higher in the standings, but 21 wins in their first 25 games is pretty impressive.
For our SJ Power Rankings, you can go to sportscage.com and check them out there. Now, games of the week. I would like to go tonight's in Wynyard. That's good. I also like Weyburn Melville tonight, but if I look at the weekend and Friday, I think Flin Flon traveling into Battlefords is my Southie Mainline Chrysler worth the trip game. What would be yours, Benny?
Yeah, maybe that too. I like Humboldt and Melfort as well. I know Humboldt's, like you said, have been struggling. They have missing a couple guys. Connor Miller from with Canada West. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I'd go with that one too. Flin Flon and Battleford. But I would go Humboldt and Melfort. We talk about Melfort each and every week, it seems like. But it's a great place to play right now for Trevor Blevins. Has got the guys playing some pretty good hockey, and just Humboldt. We'll see where they match up. If they can maybe sweep or take a couple of games there against Melfort this weekend, it might bring the Mustangs back a little bit.
The World Junior A Challenge is going on in Camrose. What's going on, though? It doesn't yesterday, Canada West shellacked, Canada East shellacked by, I don't know. What's your take on it?
It's one of those things. It's a tough event to judge. Everybody's going to go into it because the BCHL's out and we're missing all the best players and so on and so forth. But this is the same team that won the whole thing last year. It's still early in the event. It's only game number 1. They still have some Kingsworth. A lot of these Sweden team and United States, they've been playing together probably all year, I'd say, in the development program south of the border. So that you take that into consideration as well. So we'll see how this Canada West team and Canada East team can gel a little bit, which I think they will, and I think it's going to be much more competitive. But yeah, it's not the start they were looking for. The goaltending wasn't very good in both those hockey games. So we'll see how they react. I know they both play tonight against each other in Camrose. So I think it's going to be a much different Canada West and Canada East team here as the weekend approaches. But yeah, it's a tough start to the event for sure.
So hopefully one team gets a win tonight regardless, and we want Canada West to get the win. The other thing too is I was thinking though is, only so many times that the U.S. are going to come, or maybe Sweden, and get beat. It's like, hey, next year when we go to this thing, we're loading up and we're going to hammer those Canucks. So maybe there's a bit of that in play too.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, exactly. With Canada West coming, who knows about this event? It's a great event, but with the landscape of junior hockey going on here, we'll see maybe how long even the event's going to take place. So it's a great event. Hopefully it continues, but we'll see what the future will hold because the kind of junior hockey landscape is still pretty much up in the air right now.
If you're watching the stream, you see that I threw on the Ituna Trojans football hat. I don't have an Ituna Avalanche hat yet, the hockey team there, but I thought I would do this just for you, Benny, because the Ituna rinks, it should be the new rink there should be opening here any day.
I think so. I think the 20th, December 20th, so that'd be just over 10 days time. I think that's going to be their first game at home for the Ituna Avalanche in that Prairie Men's Hockey League. They got a big win last week. They had their first win over Strasbourg, I believe. So they're right, but they got some good players in their team. Justin Hollinger played with Grenfell. He's on that team. You got Drew Hayne. You got a couple of guys that played some junior hockey. So it's a team that's finally getting to play at home, which is great. And Ituna Arena, it's a great community. If you've ever been to Ituna, they come together. They have big pierogi bee to even raise money for the rink, and it's a great community. My mom she grew up down the road in Goodeve, so it's not too far away. So I've been to Ituna lots of times to play minor hockey or be to some events as well, or be to some cabarets as well there too. So it's a great community. Yeah, great. It's a great rink to be involved with. They have great volunteers in that community, and looking forward to them to finally open up their new rink coming up in 10 days' time when the Avalanche are in action with their first game at home.
I wonder if they'll take a picture and put it up in the newspaper, the first plate of Petaha ever at the new rink. That's iconic. Okay, I know you're on the bus here right away. You're heading north, Benny. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for doing this.
Appreciate it, Shink. Appreciate it as always.
It is the SJHL report for our friends at Southie Mainline Chrysler. We are the only sports show talking SJHL weekly, thanks to them. What deals? Like I said, over $13,000 off select 2024 Ram 1500s and 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokees. I can't even say it. The deals are so good. Worth the drive every time, guaranteed, to Southie, Saskatchewan. Time for a quick break. It is the home of hockey in Saskatchewan, the Sportscage on 620 CKRM.
Harvard Media is proud to introduce the Charity Art Auction in support of Creative Kids Saskatchewan. 2 classes from local schools will go head-to-head in a friendly competition to raise funds while showcasing their artistic talents. The artwork will also be proudly displayed at the Connexus Arts Center during the annual Winter Wonderland event. All proceeds benefit Creative Kids Saskatchewan. Place your bids starting December 12th. Register at harvardmediaauctions.com. It's the Charity Art Auction.
Hey, how are we getting home tonight? Oh, we've got options. Cool. What options?
We can hire a ride. Or call my sister.
Yeah.
We can catch a ride with the band.
Okay.
Designated driver.
Uh-huh.
Grab a bus.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Lots of options.
The only option is to find a safe ride. How you do it is up to you. From everyone at SGI, take care out there.
Regina Royal Canadian Legion Branch 001 has the ultimate chance to make your holidays extra bright this Christmas. The Regina Legion Vehicle Raffle is on right now. For your $100 ticket, you have the chance to choose between 14 brand new vehicles. Proceeds from the lottery stay right here in Regina and go towards initiatives such as assisting homeless veterans, the RCMP, military, and preserving history in the museum. Draw date is December 12th. Get your tickets at reginalegion.com.
Lottery license number LR240035.
Hey, it's me, Terry the Talking Tire. Have I got something for you? Regina Motor Products has got instant rebates on all the top brands when you buy a set of 4 tires. That's a $120 rebate on new Bridgestone Blizzak tires, $90 rebate on new Pirelli Ice Zero Asymmetrico tires, or $70 rebate on all other Pirelli tires, $90 rebate on new Firestone winter tires, $65 rebate on new Michelin tires, and $50 rebate on new BF Goodrich tires. Regina Motor Products has your winter tires. Visit rmpchevrolet.com.
Hi, my name is Carrington. Thank you to all the staff at Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. I hope you have a great holiday season. Thanks to everyone who has donated over the years and made Christmas special for kids like me.
Hi, I'm George Leith, Managing Partner and Chief Revenue Officer at Harvard Media. On behalf of all our management and staff, we'd like to wish you a very happy holiday. And thanks for all your continued support. And we look forward to entertaining you in the new year.
Rooted in tradition, leading in innovation, McDougall Auctioneers is your first choice for farm auctions. Hi, this is Riley McChesney. At McDougall Auctioneers, we understand that selling your farm equipment is more than just business. It's about peace of mind. That's why we offer a unique guarantee, a minimum value for your auction, ensuring you sell with confidence and comfort. Our promise is your security. Choose McDougall Auctioneers, where your satisfaction is not just expected, it's guaranteed. McDougallAuction.com.
For decades, the Case IH Patriot Sprayer has put every drop of product exactly where you want it. Today, it takes more than timely, accurate spraying to drive profitability. You need complete vehicle control, comfortable cab with built-in luxuries, remote management capabilities, and even more precise spraying technology. The Case IH Patriot 50 Series Sprayer delivers all that, plus a bold look that you expect from Case IH. Welcome to the future. To learn more about the Patriot 50 Series Sprayer, contact Young's Equipment.
The all-new Sports Cage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
RP and I are sitting here watching the new video that's released on Paul Bissonnette's Scrap, and no one backs him up.
Nobody.
Who? There's not one Canadian. Scottsdale's littered with Canadians and Sasky people. Not one was in that restaurant or bar at that time. You would throw hands, wouldn't you, with Biz?
On Biz's side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta help the guy. What, it was 6-on-1, 7-on-1?
Disappointing. I can't. Everyone's scramming out of there like people are running out of the restaurant. Settle down. NFL lives at the Canadian Brew House. Thursday night football, your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards and Bud Light. And Budweiser, sorry. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. After 5 o'clock, we have Jeremy O'Day coming up from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and we're going to give away 2 hours of sim golf at the Royal Regina Golf Course, the top technology of sims. What is it again? The
GS Pro.
GS Pro.
Yeah.
I know they're awesome. Swung on there on Saturday. So we'll have 2 hours. If you want to go swing the wrenches this winter, great. And obviously the restaurant's open and you got the bar there and everything. So we'll give those away. What do we got? A minute left. We'll give an update quickly. Colson, you said Metro fans, work to do. You're trailing right now by seven votes. Metros, 11 days from Christmas, is losing to Bing Crosby. You heard that correct, Saskatchewan. Metro is losing to Bing Crosby.
By 6 votes if you count Sharky.
We count Sharky. Sharky
Okay, 6
counts.
votes.
Sharky's allowed to vote. So 6 votes. And there's a half hour left if you think Metro should knock off Bing Crosby in our Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song Bracket. Do they know it's Christmas by Band-Aid? Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy by Buck Owens is closing the gap.
It's coming here late for sure.
This could go down to the wire. You can vote at Sportscage, Twitter. Subscribe, follow us too. And then vote there, or you can text in. And you know what? If you're sneaky, if you're a big Metro fan, you can do both. 936-6262. Oh, we got another vote for Metro. Coming in, listening in on the 8-track. You got it. Yeah, I know all about that. We can't vote for a song that's not on there, people. We're going 2 songs right now. It's not that complicated.
Like I said, come to tryouts next year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got an hour left to figure it out. Like I said, Jeremy O'Day coming up. And Randy Bryden talking curling in hour 3 and a chance to win some golf simulator packages. It's the all-new Sportscage streaming at sportscage.com.
You are my... It's 5 o'clock. Good evening. There's some drifting snow, and it's minus 17 in Regina. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound and Fort Capel. Stay connected with the new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711. The Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation's literacy program has a new playbook. The rider reading program kicked off this morning at Grant Road School with Gaynor and several Roughriders on hand. The initiative is designed to promote reading and literacy in classrooms across the province. In the past year, rider players have visited more than 12,000 students at over 100 schools. In conjunction with the program, the Roughrider Foundation introduced the Passing Pages donation campaign. Roughrider Executive Director Cindy Fuchs.
If you wanted to make a donation and it's giving back a Christmas gift, $100 gives 5 kids their first kindergarten book. $1,000 can give a whole classroom their first kindergarten book. And the kindergarten book is delivered by our players and read to the kids as well as autographed.
Donations can be made through the Roughrider Foundation's website. A wildfire that destroyed a third of the Rocky Mountain tourist town of Jasper is Environment Canada's most impactful weather story of 2024. Environment and Climate Change Canada has released its annual top 10 list of the country's most impactful weather stories, ranked by severity along with human and economic impact. In July, a devastating Alberta wildfire hit Jasper National Park and the town of Jasper, forcing the evacuation of the town site and park visitors. Meteorologist Jennifer Smith says it's the second costliest wildfire disaster.
Jasper National Park, a beloved Canadian treasure, now bears permanent scars, its landscape forever changed by the largest wildfire in its history.
The fire not only devoured homes in the town, but also scorched much of the natural landscape. A new Leger survey finds 13% of Canadians are supportive of the idea of having the country become the next U.S. state. President-elect Donald Trump has floated the idea and is now referring to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on social media as the governor of the great state of Canada. Andrew Enns of Leger says the poll found higher support among men and in the prairie provinces for the idea.
There's a tendency to see more conservatives open to this, around 20% compared to Liberals and NDP members. But I'd be surprised if you would see too many Canadian federal politicians looking at this in any way other than, it's a tactic.
The survey reached over 15,020 adults over the weekend before Trump's doubled down on his comments today. And a perennial Christmas time favorite turns 66 this year.
Brenda Lee remembers it was a warm day in Nashville when she recorded Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. To create atmosphere, the crew turned up the air conditioner and put up holiday decorations. Lee was 13 at the time, and the song did not even chart until 2 years later when she was better known. The big boost came in 1990 when it was featured in the movie Home Alone. As the movie became a holiday favorite, so did the song. Last year, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree became the single with the longest run from its release to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 at 65 years. Lee turns 80 on Wednesday and says she never thought her legacy would be a Christmas song. I'm Archie Zaraletta.
It's 5:03, and that's your 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Your weather is next. You
are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when...
There are some things that can get spoiled. A sunny day, maybe.
Aw, and no
umbrella, or anything.
And then there's Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, where they have all the top-of-the-line smartphones with all the latest features. With such a wide selection and so many great plans, nothing can spoil it.
Yay, rain!
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
When you play a guitar that's as unique as you are, the music just flows. At Gilmore Guitars, each instrument is handcrafted with passion and precision, made to stand up, just like your sound. From custom designs to the finest materials, every Gilmore guitar is built to inspire. Whether you're on the stage or on your couch, you'll play with confidence and style. Don't just play. Get a Gilmore and experience the difference. GilmoreGuitars.ca. Unique, handcrafted, just for you.
I'm Corey Atkinson with your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, brought to you by Line X Regina. Serious protection, killer looks, 1865 McCarra Street, and for Matt's Furniture. Visit mattsfurniture.ca. Now here's Precision Weather meteorologist Steve Adamson.
Conditions looking pretty cold as we progress into the next couple of days. We don't see any big storms heading our way for the time being. We will get some temperature moderation once again at the end of the week. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a brisk breeze gradually diminishing. Quite cold, the low temperature down to minus 28, the wind chill around minus 35. Wednesday, a mixture of sunshine and cloud cover with temperatures staying pretty cold, the high near minus 22 with a wind chill around minus 29. Partly cloudy conditions Wednesday night, quite cold, the low temperature back down to minus 28, and again a wind chill down around minus 36. Thursday, temperature still pretty cold with a mixture of sunshine and cloud cover, the high near minus 20. Not as cold on Friday, with partial sunshine, the high near minus 8. A mixture of sunshine and cloud cover with temperature moderation continuing on Saturday, the high around minus 4. With your 620 CKRM weather forecast, I'm Precision Weather Meteorologist Steve Adamson.
Across the province at this hour, Saskatoon is minus 19, Swift Current is minus 18, Assiniboia minus 15, Broadview Moosomin minus 20, Yorkton Melville minus 21, and Estevan and Weyburn are both minus 16. At this hour in Moose Jaw, there's some drifting snow, winds from the northwest at 37, and it's minus 15. Regina also has some drifting snow, winds from the northwest at 37 here too, and it's minus 17. For more local news that matters to you, subscribe to the daily newsletter at sasktoday.ca.
He's at it again. Matt's sharpening his pencil to save you big money at Matt's Furniture. Now till January 8th, save more with their Boxing Day sale. Save more with the Maytag front-load washer with extra power and 16-hour fresh hold option for $1,349. Or the Maytag front-load electric dryer with extra power and quick dry cycle for just $1,149. Upgrade your kitchen with the Whirlpool freestanding electric range with true convection for just $1,399. Matt's Furniture in Fort Capel, Kamsack, Melville, and Foam Lake, or online at mattsfurniture.ca.
When you want the best for your truck, you want Line X. Your truck has withstood the harshest elements Saskatchewan has thrown at it. Rocks, gravel, rain, sleet, and snow, and left with no chips, no rust. Line X protective coating keeps your truck's bed liners, rocker panels, and bumpers looking like brand new. Don't settle for Brand X. Go with Line X. It's serious protection. Come see why everybody loves taking their truck to Line X Regina for their rocker panels, bumpers, and more. Line X. Make your truck complete. 1865 McCarra Street.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the all-new Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Sask Lotteries, bringing communities together. Sask Lottery products fund over 12,000 sports, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. Be a part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The all-new Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
One more hour left in the Sports Cage. Barney Shankaruk, Ryan Pollock, Curtis Colson, and Alan with you today. Jeremy O'Day coming up. Going to join us on the Western Pizza guest hotline in a bit here. And then back half, we got a little Randy Bryden curling talk. Dan texted in 936-6262. He's saying Bing Crosby over Metro.
He's going with the classic. Would this be like a 1/16 seed? Do you think would that be how it maybe breaks down?
No, I think it'd be like an 8-9.
8-9. Okay.
This is an 8-9 matchup in the Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song bracket. It's it's only about a half hour left. If you're a Metro fan, you got to get him in. Mark traveling through Texas. He's voting Metro. So we got one Bing, one Metro. they're offsetting.
Yeah.
There. And then the other one, which is it's getting tight as well. A lot of people starting to drive home. Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas? One of my favorites. We're almost running neck and neck now with Buck Owens. Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy. It's going to be an interesting final 30 minutes of the
big push here at the end
of the bracket. If you're going to watch some hockey around the area, to the Prairie Junior Hockey League, Fort Knox visiting the Regina Capital, 7:45 at the Ritchie. WHL, if you're in the Medicine Hat area, Blades are in town. If you're up in Prince Albert, Moose Jaw's in town there. Wenatchee's at Seattle also. And then in the SJ, Weyburn, Melville. 1 point separating these two teams in the Viterra division. They're going down tonight. Yorkton's in Nipawin. And then in Wynyard, neutral site game, Notre Dame and Humboldt, 7 p.m. in Wynyard. We are going to give away the simulator golf passes in a bit here, but let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. You need a $25 gift exchange. Nothing better than a Western Pizza gift card. We are joined by Jeremy O'Day from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who is out on the highway. Jeremy, thanks so much for taking some time. Hopefully the roads aren't bad. And after what we got last week, there's a lot of ice, and then the wind and the snow today didn't help things.
Yeah, no, it's a little slow. It's a little slow moving, to be honest with you. How's it going?
Good. Maybe if we wanted to use a cheesy segue that I like to use, slow moving or fast moving. Where's the off season for you guys right now? We signed Harris. That becomes official last week. Are things progressing where you would like to see them behind the scenes? You don't have to give us specifics, but are they progressing?
I mean, it's typical off-season. Of the coaching staff. Understand it's after the season ends, you got your coaching staff that you have to get back into. That, then you start working on free agency and some.
We might have to call you back, Jeremy. You're kind of dropping out here. Bad, Alan. We'll give him a call back. He's out cruising, and you know how it is. Cell service.
Yeah,
that's right.
The spots.
Might have to try and give him a shout back. But yeah, I'm curious because it's like the off season. Obviously, I don't know how that goes. How can you pull him off? I can still hear him. And then let's try to call him back, guys. I don't know where it stands, right? In the off season side of things, like, is it busy right now? Or is it going as one would suspect?
Yeah, I think it's those initial plans, and you start working through your lists and starting to make those plans for free agency when they come, and you're looking internally, and as well as maybe starting to evaluate what other teams' free agency lists look like as well, and maybe facing a few of your own needs down the road. But it's for the front office people, they're starting to do their work, right? The coaches are the most busy in season and that, and it's the time now for the general managers and scouts and all those guys to start compiling their lists.
And when we talked to Glenn at the start of the show, like if you're in Winnipeg, and he brought up a good point. He's like, we said this last year about Winnipeg at this time, but now you got coaches leaving, and then you got 25 free agents coming up, which could be standard. But then you got 13 of 24, 30 years or older.
Yeah, and it makes it an interesting dynamic for them, losing a few key people as well, because from their own free agency lists and maybe some guys that are high value. You have Buck now moving across the division, potentially looking at the Blue Bombers list and guys that he's been working with over the last couple of years, and as well with Ted moving over to Hamilton as the general manager. He's obviously going to be familiar with some of the guys on the free agent list in Winnipeg, and there'll be potentially a little bit of a struggle there for some of those guys. But that's the interesting dynamic of this time of year for front offices.
Okay, we're going to try it again. Western Pizza Guest Hotline, take 2 with Jared. Sorry about that. Hey, it's our cell service, right? Maybe it is the weather out there. You kind of broke up there. Like, are things progressing as per usual for you in the front office?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty normal off season as far as what to expect. I think the last number of years, 2 or 3 years, it's been a little bit slower with free agency, with negotiations taking a little longer than they have in the past. But nothing out of the ordinary.
Hey, J.O., with an extended list, it's kind of become the norm around the league now with the short-term contracts. But without giving away anything, any insights or anything like that, how does you and your staff sort of prepare or work through that list? Does it start with priority guys? Does it work off a financial kind of basis? Does it work off positional? Does it potentially even look off of what could be out there come February as well? Or is it a little bit of a combination of both? Just curious how you guys kind of work your way through.
Yeah, it's all of the above, to be honest with you. There's a lot of factors that go into, when you offer, who you offer, and how much you offer. So you're kind of going through that. You're also keeping an eye on the list of free agents that could possibly be out there. So it's a little bit of a juggling act. There's some guys that you definitely want to get back, and you'll start to offer those guys and get those offers out and start working through negotiation. And then there's some of the other guys that they have to be patient. They have to understand it's a process. But you definitely go through and, you have all your evaluations from the end of the year. And, you start there from the coaches' evaluations and you start putting out offers. And some will get back to you quick and, they're excited to get back. And there's other ones that take a little bit longer. It just all depends on, where that player is at. If he's someone that makes a higher salary already and it's just a matter of you bringing them back, then they can go a little bit quicker. But if it's someone that wants a raise, which is usually the case with everyone, sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, and a great sign getting Trevor done here right quick after the season. And was the timing important for you guys to kind of get the big fish, if you will, landed and then be able to move on to those other guys, both from a team perspective, a financial perspective, all those things, kind of getting that big domino out of the way?
Yeah, it's important. It was important to get Trevor done just because obviously the quarterbacks, they make a lot of money, and you also want to know when you're talking to your free agents they want to know who's going to be our quarterback, and so we had conversations shortly after the season, and then we went and evaluated the roster, talked to the coaches and in the personnel department, and ultimately came to the decision that we wanted Trevor back, and he felt the same way, so we wanted to try to do it as soon as we could so that so everyone was kind of settled, and then you kind of start working from there.
Hey, J.O., we had Trevor on yesterday on the show, and he talked about, the relationships, and that's what's really important with them, and the guys in the locker room, and the debates they have, and just some of the fun stuff. How comforting is that for you to hear that, hey, these guys have relationships? Like if one domino falls, there's a good chance another one will maybe as well, just because of those relationships.
Well, they're important. Guys want to play with guys that they like, and they're close with, and they feel like they can win with. So those relationships are super important. The cohesion of our offense going into this season, just feel like we're going to be in a better point than we were last year. You remember we were hiring a whole other coaching staff with the new offensive coordinator. So it gives us another year with those guys all have already know the playbook. They'll come into camp with being very familiar with everything that we're doing. And ultimately you want a group of guys that have played together for a while and, that hopefully will reap benefits. And But ultimately, it's Trevor's leadership that not only on the field, but it's off the field, in the locker room, in the meeting rooms. And so it's ultimately important. But we had a very close group in the locker room, and obviously want to try to keep as many as we can together. There's always change. Every team's going to be different. No 2 years are alike, but obviously getting Trevor was a big piece.
With that change, and when you're successful and you have good people, you always lose them. A guy like J.C. Sherritt, right? Which a lot of people said, with the new brand and what they're happening in Edmonton, that there was a good chance he was going to end up there. It's just one of those things where, the old adage when it comes to pro sports, you can't fault the guy for moving on and moving up.
Yeah, no, there's, ultimately, it's just a matter of just like players where they're at in their career and what they want to do. Obviously, JC wanted to be a defensive coordinator, and felt like there was a great opportunity for him to go there and become their coordinator. So ultimately, he had to do what was best for his family. A great coach. We kind of felt like he would be a coordinator someday. I didn't know it would happen so fast. We were hoping that we'd have him for a couple of years. But ultimately, that's what happens, and it's kind of our job to replace a good coach with another good coach. But great coach, great person. Happy that he's got an opportunity to kind of do his own thing over there with their defense, and it's an opportunity that he couldn't pass on.
J.O., you mentioned it where you were at 12 months ago with hiring a completely new staff and that. You must be feeling pretty good about your position overall, though, with where your staff's at. Obviously, no official announcements have been made to this point, but the position you're in now versus where you were 12 months ago, you must be pretty happy with.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually just thinking about that the other day, that it's nice to just kind of focus in on the roster. Got through most of the coaching stuff, and obviously there's still a little bit of juggling that's happened with coaching staffs, but we feel like we're in a really good position. I feel like the majority of our staff will be back and working through that now, but feel real good about that. It's another important step before you start trying to re-sign your guys, making sure that they know who's going to be their positional coach, their coordinators, and all that has to be in place because it's questions that come up. But feel really good about it. It is nice to have the staff in place and not have to worry about, hiring too many guys at this time of the year.
This year in this offseason, is there, for me when I look at it, I feel like there's like a surplus league-wide of maybe quarterbacks that are unsigned. Is there anything league-wise where it's maybe an anomaly this year, different than other years at a certain position?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that every year there's, since, the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a large number of players that have hit free agency. This year's no exception. You look at most teams, they're at, right around 30 free agents. So if you put that all together, you're looking at 200 free agents across the league, and it's pretty spaced out. We break it down by position. So we have every position broken into free agency, and that's when you're kind of going through, you're looking at your guys that you have on your roster, trying to decide whether you want to bring them back or whether you would look at making a change in free agency. So I don't think there's any that are, kind of greater or smaller than they have in the past. It's a pretty consistent list of players. The numbers are close every year for how many guys in each position are going to be free agents. And again, we got such a long way to go. It's a couple months before free agency, so a lot changes in that time. You can see that kind of across the league, it's a little bit slow moving, but it's kind of been like that for the last 2 years.
And it takes two to tango, right, J.O.? Mm-hmm. So you can have your best laid plans, and there's another guy sitting across the table that has to agree to it as well.
It does. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes with agents, both ways. The agents are trying to trying to see if there's a situation that's better for the player or whether he feels it's a good situation. And then there's ultimately the biggest thing is just the financial discussions, right? So, like I said, there's not many guys that come up and say, "Hey, I'll take a pay cut." It's quite the opposite. So you have to understand all that and factor all that in. But it's a normal off season. It's just a lot of positioning, and agents are also, some of them aren't overly keen. They want to also see kind of the lay of the land for their clients and ultimately do the best job they can for them. But they want to kind of know what the market looks like for them as well. So there's a lot of that happens before you get into free agency.
I look behind the curtain in your life. Obviously, you're under a microscope all the time in Saski. Like, do you get a chance over the holidays or in the winter here to enjoy some time with the family at all, or is it always work?
I always have time to enjoy with the family. It's just there's just not a lot of it. When the season ends, it's really our busy season in football operations. So we're kind of grinding it out, to be honest. This is the time of the year where we start signing our negotiation list players and players that haven't even been Rough Riders yet, right? So you're trying to work those, your negotiation list and trying to get those guys off so that you can put new guys on. So this is kind of the busy part for us. But as far as me personally, I always take some time around Christmas. I'm sure my family probably wants it to be a little bit longer, but we enjoy the couple days before Christmas and get some good family time when we can.
And so do I sprinkle on your Buffalo Bills at 6-1 to get to the Super Bowl and get it done this year?
Yeah, no, I'm again. I've been a Bills fan for so long that I don't really get excited until they're right at the end. But
too many scars, AJO.
Yeah, I don't like to uncover the scars until they're well into it. But certainly root for them. They played really well 2 weeks ago in the snow, and then last week, man, their offense was just rolling, but their defense was the opposite, right? So they've got a great quarterback. So anytime you got a great quarterback, you got a chance to win. So I guess I'm always excited for them, holding out hope that before too long we'll get a Super Bowl.
I like the odds this is too. Just Kansas City, I can't see it. But thanks for taking some time. Travel safe. All the best in the holidays and the family time, and appreciate you hopping on.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on, and you guys have a great Christmas. RP, give your family the best.
Will do. Thanks, J.O. You too.
Jeremy O'Day joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. If you are looking for anything for your staff, as far as catering-wise, Western Pizza is your go-to. It is the all-new Sportscage on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM.
This is Country Gold with Steve Harmon, your home for the country hits of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Hello, I'm Steve Harmon, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week we play country favorites from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we check in with the stars who made them, too. This weekend on Country Gold.
Country Gold, brought to you by Trent Dickin and his experienced team at Flooring Superstore. Saturday mornings at 6 and Sunday afternoons at 4 on the Voice of Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Winter can bring the toughest of times for families, and the Regina Food Bank would like you to help our community this holiday season. The holidays ignite the giving spirit in our souls. We know that now is the time to give. With our Hampers of Hope, as little as $1 can provide free meals for someone in need. Neighbors feeding neighbors. It's what the holiday spirit is all about. Please donate today at reginafoodbank.ca. Be the reason a family celebrates this year.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
You hear those jingle bells? That means the holiday season is on its way. So it's time to start planning your work or family holiday parties. Leave the cooking to Western Pizza and enjoy all your Western Pizza favorites this holiday season. Call your local Western Pizza about catering or hosting your holiday get-together today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
There's nothing quite like the Christmas season to bring out the best in everyone. Everyone at Emerald Park Homes would like to wish one and all a very Merry Christmas and a great New Year. EmeraldParkHomes.ca.
There's no place like home for Christmas. The very happiest of season's greetings and Christmas wishes to you and yours from everyone at Lipstick Cartage Limited. May 2025 find you happy, healthy, and filled with joy. LipstickCartage.com.
I'm delving in? What does that even mean? Can you only delve into something? Because you know what I like to do? Delve out of Saskatchewan winters. But at least your local Cooper tire dealer carries Cooper Discoverer True North winter tires. Cooper Discoverer True North winter tires provide exceptional grip and traction in the snow and ice. See your local Cooper tire dealer for Cooper Discoverer True North winter tires. They'll help you delve into winter driving conditions.
Welcome back to the all-new Sports Cage. Get social with us. Follow us on X at Sports Cage. Watch our video stream at sportscage.com and always on the radio at 620 CKRM.
It's getting real. And we have 4 minutes left on the Twitter/X polls. And do they know it's Christmas? Slight lead over Santa Looked a Lot Like Daddy by Buck Owens, or whoever you like that song by. But the other one, the shocker. And I said it was more of like an 8 versus a 9 seed here. But Bing Crosby in Saskatchewan, in the heart of it, it looks like he's going to knock off Metro. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, upset bracket. Busted. How many brackets are busted out there already?
Bracket busting season. I can't wait to see who we have tomorrow. But you literally got 3 minutes left to go on the X and vote at the Sports Cage. Subscribe while you're there too, or follow us, and then also 936-6262 Capital Ford Lincoln text line if you want a couple of write-in ballots. We got another Metro, and we got Fenton. Attaboy. Fenton. Do they know it's Christmas Band-Aid?
Are we keeping the live tally here of these write-in?
Colson's, he's got
because I feel like there's a lot of write-in votes for Metro, and we're just doing updates from the actual Twitter feed here. So
Colson,
I've got 9 write-ins for Metro. So yeah, we're keeping
that's got to tighten her up a little bit. No,
well, we maybe after into the next break we'll totally get where we stand. But it was tight from the get-go, and I was surprised. I thought like that. Like I said, there was the Ituna guys. They wanted 22 votes. We couldn't go 22. But yeah, there's a couple Canoras that came in. All that Yorkton area. Big Metro country.
Big Metro country. Right
big
there.
Metro country. Hey, speaking of big Metro country and Ituna, Colanda is Metro. Throw one in for Metro. See, last push. The late Metro push. I love it. If you're speaking of Ituna, and Benny Walchuk mentioned it earlier, senior hockey team there is getting ready to open the new rink fire there in Ituna. Any kind of senior hockey guy or girl, tough I guess, but if you want to nominate them for the player of the week, the dangler of the week, if you've ever had a dangler at the Canadian Brew House, it's a tasty little beverage. Let us know. Text the word dangler to 306-936-6262, and you are entered to win a $100 gift card every Friday from the Canadian Brew House. All you got to do, dangler. I know we had a few people that messaged in about the gentleman that had his face cut in Churchbridge on the weekend, 80 stitches, and they wanted to put him in. Of course, that's a great one, but yeah, you got to text in dangler to that. Metro Perry, Hot Take Perry. I'm like, where's Hot Take Perry been? There he goes. He's pushing snow probably out in Regina Beach. Metro all the way, and another 11, no name, 11. See, yeah, Metro's coming. 2 more for Metro. Chalk it up on the big board.
Let's go.
See the late Metro push, RP.
We knew it was
Believe
coming.
in it.
We knew it was coming. They've always been a late riser, right? It's the push is back. They're going to be here in the end.
Bing Crosby knocking off Metro in Saskatchewan. That just can't see it happening. SJ, you wanted to talk about Misa. What's his first name?
Michael
Misa in the Ontario.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting thing that, over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the CHL, 10 CAA, back and forth. And it's, and generally speaking, out of the gate, it's been how do I politically, it's not the superstars per se that have been mentioned in it. It's been more about the guys that are looking to prolong their they're playing after major junior and at the NCAA level at a good level. But now this is coming out that this top guy, Michael Misa, is apparently potentially going to Boston University.
That's wild.
And that's a massive move because we were talking about the potential of Gavin McKenna going to the NCAA as well. And chalk me up as a person out of the gate that was skeptical to it. But now you start hearing these mentions of big NIL potential, or I'm still curious how that works, that you're a Canadian down on a student visa getting paid. But there's ways around everything, I guess. But
absolutely. What's that bag on the back porch?
That's right.
Oh, those guys dropped it off.
But this really could be game changing, and for some of these guys that we talked about Gavin McKenna specifically, who has that extra year of junior because of his late birth date and his sort of his draft year, if you will, is a year later than what his actual peers would be. This could open a door for him. He'd be out of high school, be NCAA eligible. Does he make this move as well? And how does this start changing the landscape of it for some of these guys, especially if those rumors are true that they can go down there and collect some of this NIL money off of playing there. So nothing official yet that I've seen, unless it's happened that I haven't seen it. But lots of speculation out there, more than just random basement couch guy sending out a Twitter rumor. So we'll see what happens here.
Michael Misa was the 8th ever exceptional player in the Canadian Hockey League just before Landon DuPont here. So that is big news, and I think some of these guys are going to get swayed and lured into the big school. These, the American universities have anything at their disposal. Like I said, you fly up, bring you down with the family, check out the campus.
Yeah, those big time schools, 100%. They are in a different level, and you talk about, last week or week before, you were talking about the Michigan head coach that was on and talking about we're not competing with the CHL. Well, he's not wrong. And we're going to find that some of these guys might start using that avenue to be that go-between between major, junior, and the NHL, because they're not eligible to play in the American Hockey League under the NHL-CHL agreement. So is this sort of a way around it, that there's kind of that buffer that I'm a top end guy, maybe not ready for full NHL duty yet, but I can go play at a level with some older guys that potentially are bigger and stronger, and kind of get that preparation for NHL life.
Pats are back in action in Regina Friday against the Saskatoon Blades. Saturday they take on the Moose Jaw Warriors, and it's Teddy Bear toss night. Regina Pats goaltender Yuan Hue is on his way to, actually it's Brockville, Ontario. He's probably going to play with Switzerland in the World Juniors coming up here, so that'll be cool to see him. There was a lot of rumors about Hue going back home to play a little pro hockey. So he's sticking around. Obviously, the World Juniors is a big deal for a lot of these countries, so a chance for him to play in there.
He'll be busy.
Yeah, he will be busy. Don't forget, like I said, Dangler, text that in, 936-6262. There is one senior game that we got word of this evening. It's in Wadena, 8 p.m., Watrous and Wadena. Join us on Fridays for the Senior Hockey Report, brought to you by Coolbet and Future Ford in Melville. Before we go to break here, I just want to tee it up. If you want to sim golf, if you want to play 2 hours?
2 hours.
In the Sims at the Royal Regina, which is the top technology as far as Sims goes. And then really it's $25 an hour if you want to add on a few hours. If you got a couple of buddies, a couple of lady friends, maybe a girl from your Splurge Club, you guys want to go swing the wrenches, go in there. This technology is unreal. We're going to give away 2 hours.
Yep.
Right now, 936-6262. If you want to go, let us know. And like I said, you can get in and go check out the Royal Regina's awesome simulators. Time for a quick break. You are watching the Sports Cage on the stream at sportscage.com, and as always on 620 CKRM.
Local communities are at the heart of what we do. Last year, more than 200,000 Saskatchewan people reached out for help through United Way's 211 service. When our friends and neighbors struggle, communities struggle. With your support, we can answer the call and connect to hope and help. Each of us have the ability to be there for our neighbors. Show your local love by donating today.
Visit unitedwayregina.ca and change lives today. Change begins with support.
This winter, make sure you have tires that are ready to handle the snowy and icy roads and get them at Quality Tire. If you don't have winter tires, this is the time to get them. At 7 degrees Celsius, the rubber on all season tires start to harden in the cold. With winter tires, you'll be able to stop sooner and avoid the accident in front of you. And start driving quicker in case the car behind you doesn't have winter tires from Quality Tire. With 9 locations across Saskatchewan.
QualityTire.ca. From the Sask Today newsroom, here's what's making news in Saskatchewan.
Police around Saskatchewan will be looking for impaired drivers through the month of December, and there's continuous reminders from SGI to get a safe ride home.
Sask Today's team of local journalists are on the ground in communities across Saskatchewan, focusing on local topics that matter to you. Visit and bookmark sasktoday.ca and sign up for our daily news digest. sasktoday.ca from Harvard Media, everywhere.
Your Regina Pats are celebrating the season at the Brent Center all December long with epic matchups, events, and giveaways. Bring the Pats home with the calendar giveaway at the CIBC Christmas game on the 13th. Share the love at the Global News Teddy Bear Toss on the 14th. And get the chance to bring home an exclusive jersey and dive into the Ninja Turtle madness at Remax Nickelodeon Night on the 28th. See the full promotional lineup and get your tickets at reginapats.com.
We want your business on board for the Harvard Media online auction. It's easy. All you've got to do is provide items like gift cards, experiences, services, or whatever cool product you have. And in exchange, we'll give you a world-class marketing campaign. No entry fee or cash outlay. Just a good old trade deal. That hammer could be coming down for you. Just hit up harvardmedia.com and join in on all the excitement. Terms and conditions apply.
Stay connected with us any time of the day. Call or text us 306-936-6262. Driven by Capital Ford Lincoln, Saskatchewan's #1 Ford retailer. CapitalFordLincoln.com on 620 CKRM.
The all-new Sportscage. Watch our live stream at sportscage.com and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Texts are coming in. Some late for Metro over Bing Crosby, and then another Band-Aid came in on the text line. Are we shutting it down now? Is it over?
It is shut down.
Okay, Colson, you're going to give us the update here before the top of the hour on who won the first 2 songs in the Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song Bracket. Also a few coming in. They want to go golfing at the Royal Regina in the simulators. The awesome technology they have. They were giving away 2 hours to go golf. The best sims in the city. I'm going to say it. And the most reasonably priced simulators in the city. So I see some of these guys. I'd like to take the wife for a couple hours to go golfing. Nice play, tugging at the heartstrings. So if you still got 20 minutes to give away those 936-6262 Capital Ford text line, Saskatchewan's #1 Ford retailer. It's a good night for Western Pizza. It's a good time to get your Christmas gifts from Western Pizza. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. If you're watching the stream, we're joined by new Canadian senior men's curling champion, Mr. Bryden. You figured, you know what? I was worried about you getting on the stream here for a second. I'm like, for a guy that's been around the curling world and Randy, the pressure when you are throwing those rocks and I'm like, he's going to be able to figure this one out. Hey, congratulations to you guys. And it was where? It was in Moncton?
We were in Moncton, yes.
Yeah, and just first off, it seems a little early for me in the year to be crowning a Canadian champion. Is this always when kind of the seniors are crowned?
It is. I'm not sure how long ago they changed it, but so we do our provincial playoff is in March. So we won like 9 months ago, and then they have the nationals. So it's probably the first. They have the mixed nationals, and then they have the senior nationals, and in the new year they get into the other ones.
How many Saskatchewan crowns is it for you? Championships all the way from junior to now into senior. How many is that for you?
So I've gone to 6 nationals. So 6 times I've worn Saskatchewan. Yeah.
And the team is made up of yourself, Troy Robinson, Russ Bryden, and Chris Semenchuk. You guys been together a while?
Yeah. So Russ and I have played together probably 25 years. Same with Troy and I. We played the last probably 25 years together. And when we got into seniors, Russ came back. He took a little hiatus and was off for, 5-6 years. And then Chris Semenchuk joined us then. So that was about 5 years ago. So the team's been playing together for 5 years. Troy and I for 25, and Russ and I 25 as well, here and there.
So now you said, things happen in March. So is there a little bit of a break for you guys, or do you keep firing here right until the provincials again in March? And I know you're coaching as well.
No, I'm not coaching.
You're not coaching? Okay.
No, but I'm going to be a spectator. I'm going to Italy to watch my son in the university World University Games. So he's representing Canada in the universities. So we're going there in January. Then you're right, we have provincials for seniors in March. And then in April, end of April, beginning of May, we go to Worlds for seniors for this win that we just had this last weekend.
Where are you guys headed?
So we're going back to New Brunswick. We're going to Fredericton.
Well, at least it's at
last
home.
Year it was in
Yeah.
Last year it was in Sweden. The year before it was in South Korea. But it's back in Canada this year, so at least we get to go down east. We enjoyed it there.
Yeah, no, and they love their curling out in the Maritimes. Let's talk about Josh and his team that's going to Italy. That's pretty exciting because last year they made that run, and a lot of people, they don't know. It's like a university curling, like it's kind of flies under the radar.
It does a little bit. I mean, the hockey and basketball always take over on the university. But this is a big event. And I didn't really know too much about this event until he was competing. So I think there's 10 or 12 different sports that are happening. It's almost like a little mini Olympics for the university. So hockey is going. So hockey will be one of the events. I think the coach from the Calgary University team he picks a team. But the curling they had to play off and win. And he was successful. And so we're going to be following them there a little bit, and we'll be over there for 2.5 weeks, I guess. So,
well, I got to say, my dad was downs and all that, and just congratulations, chalking up another one, and then we'll have to touch base and catch up before you head to Worlds.
Yeah, for sure. And we're looking forward to it already, anyways.
And hopefully, Josh, they can pull that out Italy regardless. Wow, that's a good time for youngsters to go. Thanks so much, Randy. Congratulations again, and we'll catch up.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Right on. There it is. Canadian champion Randy Bryden, along with Troy Robinson, Russ Bryden, and Chris Semenchuk. Just one of those curling names in the province.
Oh, for sure. Awesome too. I loved his I loved his little approach there on Sweden last year, South Korea the year before. When we get to go to Fredericton. So
at least
it'll be awesome. It'll be packed and good following, and it'll be a great time. But it's funny you're out there for the nationals, and then you get to head right back for the Worlds as well. So
could have been like Prince George or
that's right
somewhere Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
Last year we were in Stockholm.
I've been to both of those places.
Stockholm's the nicest city.
I know which I'll take. Yeah.
Nicest city I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, it's nice.
And go there. And
Sweden's a beautiful place.
Chuck some rocks. That would be awesome. We're also there's a big curling event coming up in Swift Current, I think, this weekend. Dave Thomas is getting that, and then the provincials, like we talked about yesterday in Kindersley, both of them, the men and the women, like back to back, I think, or maybe simultaneously. That city will be buzzing
heavy.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. It is Colson. You're gonna go. We're gonna have it when we get back. We're gonna have the final tallies on the first two matches in the Sportscage Ultimate Christmas Song bracket. We'll have them when we get back. You're watching the stream, sportscage.com.
Harvard Media is proud to introduce the charity
306-569-2273.
Meet your new favorite shade of green. At Nick's Service, we offer the Fendt 500 Vario Series tractor that's tailor-made for your farm. Get better stability, ease of use, and comfort with one tractor. Whether you're feeding, tilling, baling, or hauling, this series is built for your farm. Experience up to 163 horsepower with this multi-purpose tractor. Visit Nick's Service in Emerald Park or go to nicksservice.com to get a quote on the Fendt 500 Vario Series.
Regina Royal Canadian Legion Branch 001 has the ultimate chance to make your holidays extra bright this Christmas. The Regina Legion Vehicle Raffle is on right now. For your $100 ticket, you have the chance to choose between 14 brand new vehicles. Proceeds from the lottery stay right here in Regina and go towards initiatives such as assisting homeless veterans, the RCMP, military, and preserving history in the museum. Draw date is December 12th. Get your tickets at reginalegion.com.
Lottery license number LR240035.
Yorkton Lions present Legacy Co-op Wonders of Winter starting December 8th to January 1st. This Christmas Light Project is a new annual holiday light event that will bring Yorkton together for a Christmas miracle full of love and holiday spirit. It will feature 23 light displays and 22 lighted trees, transforming the city of Yorkton Campground into a winter wonderland. Marked on Santa's calendar to kick off this month. Tickets available at the entrance gate. Visit YorktonLionsClub.ca.
The all-new Sportscage is live streaming from our Century Studios in downtown Regina. Watch now at sportscage.com. Be part of the show by texting 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
Don't forget, hockey tonight, SJHL action in Wynyard, 7 p.m. puck drop, Notre Dame and Humboldt. Yes, I said in Wynyard. Also, Nipawin is hosting Yorkton and Weyburn-Melville. Big Viterra division matchup there. WHL, Blades are in Medicine Hat, Moose Jaws in Prince Albert, Wenatchee's in Seattle. No AAA midget this evening. Tomorrow night, huge game at the Cooperator Center. I know there's a lot of people going to this game. They're going to get a good crowd for this one. 1 point separating Moose Jaw and the Regina Pat Canadians in the standings, so that one will be a big one. AAA female, Pilot Mound visiting the Rebels this weekend because they didn't get in there. They're not in the Notre Dame to big Maddie Schwartz tournament. We're there live on Thursday at the Sportscage is for that. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, big tournament out there.
Huge tournament. Yep. Lots of scouts. And then one game tonight in the Prairie Junior League. It's in Regina at the Al Ritchie. They don't have a skate sharpener there anymore, but they have a heck of a concession.
Yep. Concession's still going. It's got that built-in flavor. You know,
they fire up that popcorn machine. They know.
Yeah.
It's just like fishing in a barrel.
Yep.
Fort Knox and Regina Capital, 7:45. One game to mention in the Senior Loop. Watrous is in Wadena. Don't forget to text in Dangler to 936-6262 to nominate a player of the week when it comes to senior hockey, and then you get a $100 chance to win a $100 gift card from the Canadian Brew House. 2 locations in Regina, 1 in Moose Jaw. All right. Moment of truth. Thanks to everyone who texted in today on the text line and then also went onto Twitter and played along. Okay, so we had...
Thanks for all the filler around the contest today. You know, all that sports filler. We were just killing time.
Yeah. And tomorrow and the next day. And then I only got like 5 shows left before Christmas, so I got to get this thing rattled off because this is my idea. It's like, no. Okay, we had Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas, was taking on first round matchup. Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Buck Owens, Colson.
All right. Santa looked a lot like Daddy, had 43.9% of the vote. So, Do They Know It's Christmas? Takes that one.
Band-Aid, I like it.
With 56% of the vote.
Band-Aid, figured that was the case.
Moving on.
Figured they're stronger.
Band-Aid's moving on.
Stronger.
Yeah.
Big. They got a lot of people tugging. All tugging the same way. And then the sympathy or the sentimental piece raised a lot of money for the African famine back in the 80s. It's just a good song all around. All right. And then the big one. This is pressure here. A little nervous. Metro. 11 days from Christmas was up against Bing Crosby. I'll be home for Christmas. Colson.
51.8% of the vote went to I'll be home for Christmas.
Oh! Bing Crosby knocks off Metro.
Upset of the week.
Like Mike Sillinger says, an 8 always beats a 1 in the NHL playoffs. We've seen, who was it? For that Florida team in March Madness a few years ago. Upset.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd make like the decade ago Gonzaga run, right? When no one knew who the heck they were.
Bing Crosby, 51% of the vote. We will have two matching up tomorrow. Can I give it? Well, let's go rocking around the Christmas tree. Brenda Lee, she'd be a 16 seed against number 1 seed. And people vote with your head and your heart. Up against All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she's unthought.
1 versus 16 there. And then the other one we'll go to is Mary's Boy Child, Boney M. Big Boney M country, too. Up against Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. It's going to be a tough one.
That is.
So those are the two tomorrow. Maz will be here. And they'll...
The polls will go live on Twitter around 1 p.m.
That's a power quarter with that first round matchup there. That second battle there, Boney M and
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That's a big one.
Like you saw that come out. If you're Boney M, like who we matched up against, and you saw that, and you're like,
tough region there.
Exactly.
Oof.
Meanwhile, you got on the other side, you got Jose Feliciano taking on Gail Peavy. Dad runs a nice mart, and all I want for a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Sneaky good though. Sneaky good.
You get kids voting.
Oh yeah,
that's trouble. That could be trouble for Jose. He's coming all this way. He could lose. One and done.
He's coming all this.
Yeah. It's always brought to you by Sask Lotteries on Tuesday, the main fundraiser for over 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan. I talked about the Monday Night Football game. Hit my 4-game little spread parlay with that unbelievable finish last night.
Yep.
Thank you, Dallas Cowboys, and the guy that touched the punt, which he didn't need to. And Cincy wins. I'm sure there is. Have you looked at the schedule for this evening's NHL games?
I have not. No.
Tuesday, there'd be a whack. Yeah, here we go. Canadian teams in action. Toronto's in Jersey. We have Calgary Flames in Nashville. I don't know what's going to happen with Nashville there. The Bruins. There would be a lot of people from Saski that are Bruins fans in Winnipeg this evening.
For sure.
Edmonton is home.
Big tilt, Tampa.
That's one to watch this evening.
Big tilt for sure.
Curl up on the couch and watch that one. And Vancouver is home to St. Louis.
Avs and Penguins on Sportsnet. That's a good one too.
Avs and Penguins.
Both teams need to win. Someone's gonna. Just outside.
What's your how much time do we have here? I wanted to ask you this question. Saw this pulling around the corner the other day. What's your take on the Cybertruck? So I've seen one in the city.
Yeah, I've heard there's one around town, and I saw some posts that had froze right up last week in the cold weather. So
that was the guy in Calgary.
Oh, was it in Calgary? Yeah,
but bricked up.
If that's the case, it's not gonna get better here over the next little while. So it'll be interesting to see how it moves around. I mean, obviously it must move good through the snow and everything, but how does the charge hold when it actually does get down to minus 35?
It's odd looking.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a driving commercial freezer.
Yeah, I mean the appeal of it isn't for me for sure. So yeah, it's an interesting. I haven't seen it in town, but
it pulled just before you got here today. I think they had parked down below here, and it pulled right around this corner, and then literally 2 minutes behind, biking guy in this weather.
Yeah,
because there's some people that bike in this weather just because they have to, and some people that do it because they just love biking.
Yeah,
and it's windy. Yeah, good for you if you can get it done. Like I said, tomorrow is Wednesday. Eric Francis, Chris Mazurik's in. He's going to have Tim Peel, former NHL official, and I think he's got somebody lined up rodeo-wise as well. And we'll have those two other matchups in the Sportscage Ultimate Sports Christmas Song Bracket Challenge. Go out and watch some hockey tonight. It's been a slice. I'll be back on Thursday, RP. Always a pleasure.
You betcha. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for bringing the passes. Sim Golf. We're going to give some of those away in the next week. More of those are going to be coming. Thanks to everyone for listening. Alan, thanks so much. Colson, thanks so much. Curtis, wherever he went, thanks so much. I'll talk to you again on Thursday.
It's 6 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Corey Atkinson from the Harvard Media News Center with 620 CKRM News. The Saskatchewan Internet Child Exploitation Unit has charged a 46-year-old Delisle man with child exploitation offenses. Following a June 2024 investigation into child pornography, officers executed a search warrant at a Delisle home in October, seizing electronic devices. The suspect is now charged with 2 counts of possession of child pornography and 1 count of making it available. The suspect appeared in court today and was released with conditions. His next court date is January 7th in Saskatoon. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is now calling Prime Minister Justin Trudeau the governor of the great state of Canada on his social media account, and some Canadians think that wouldn't be such a bad idea.
A new Leger poll finds just over 1 in 10 Canadians endorse the idea of becoming the 51st U.S. state, as Donald Trump has suggested. There's higher support among men, the prairie provinces, and Conservative Party supporters, and stauncher opposition among women and more left-leaning voters. Trump doubled down on the idea on social media today, saying he looks forward to seeing Governor Trudeau again to talk tariffs. The online survey was done over the weekend before Trump's post today. Kyle Duggan, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
It's day 26 of the nationwide postal worker strike, and Canada Post says there's no end in sight.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers says it sent over its latest list of proposals, which includes wage gains and job protections. But Canada Post says the proposals don't bring both sides closer to ending a dispute that's brought millions of deliveries to a halt. Despite calls to intervene, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the federal government is putting pressure on both sides to reach a deal. One of the key issues in bargaining talks has been a potential expansion into weekend deliveries, with both sides at odds over how to staff it. The strike started November 14th, and a federal mediator was appointed, though it was put on hold nearly 2 weeks ago due to both sides being too far apart. David Bowles, The Canadian Press.
Mental health specialists say that while many kids and teens are excited about the holidays, others find it a difficult time filled with anxiety, stress, and loneliness. Karen Rebo reports.
Child and youth psychologist Dr. Sandra Newton says some kids are struggling emotionally, but feel pressure to pretend they're happy for the sake of their families. The Pickering, Ontario-based expert adds kids being treated for mental illnesses such as anxiety and depression may not have access to therapists who take time off over the holidays. She says parents can help by letting their children and teens know they don't need to hide their feelings. Parents should also have regular check-ins with their kids and help them make a plan for who they can talk to for support.